Does this sound right, Max?
We're in. Yeah, this is working for me. All right. The Windy City, Chi-Town. The streets are mean and dirty and full of ruffians. What do I know about that? I'm just a simple man, sitting in an office where he put his back to the window because who needs a view? The only view I ever have is the bottom of a liquor bottle. Things used to be bright and easy back in this town. That was until the lake dried up. Now, there's no lake, which makes Lakeshore Drive somewhat confusing when you're giving directions to out-of-towners. This is what I was contemplating when I heard a knock on my door. You realize there's a doorbell?
I hadn't. Tad
Well,
pointed
come on
out for
anyway.
me. Cool. Well, hello there, stranger.
Take a seat.
But of course.
Indeed.
I'm assuming your lap is taken. I jest.
Our PI recognizes this dame from a previous fling with a Martian heiress of some kind.
Indeed.
Wait, I know you from somewhere. Mars, right? What's one of you red planeters doing down here on dusty old Earth?
Well, my trip here has been primarily for pleasure, but a tad bit of business has gotten in the way. I've got something that needs doing, and I know you're a man of action. So, care to help an old fling deal with a new problem first? And also, do you have a drink?
Yeah.
I'm parched.
I open my desk drawer, pull out 2 glasses and a bottle of whiskey. Pour 2 fingers into each of them. Push one forward on the desk.
Ah, you've got the dark brown kind, I think.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm available for new jobs right now. Standard fee. 2 days up front plus expenses.
I can manage that. But
All right.
can you manage my problem is the question.
Well, I'm going to need some more details before I can provide an informed answer to that question.
I can provide those answers to you. Just give me 1 second to sip my drink, darling.
Also, you can't
Casually
smoke in here. It's something the landlord said.
Sorry?
I don't want to lose my security deposit, see? I even put little rubber tips on all the chairs to keep the floors from getting scuffed up. This is real hardwood. Stuff's expensive after all the forests went extinct.
Yeah. Pity about that. You know we've got forests growing on Mars now.
Yeah, you bastards are always so smug about how your planet's the green one now.
But it's suitable. It's a very nice place to live. You know, I think maybe if I get my way, I'll make it more suitable for more people to live. Mars
What do you mean by
is a
that?
growing planet. Well,
I'm no planetary scientist, but typically planets stay roughly the same size.
Yeah, of course, but the whole place isn't settled now, is it? We've got so much manifest destiny to fill out. That said, my plans will all come to ruin if I don't find the executor of my father's will, Bingham Barrels. He's the man that
He's
I'm
dead?
looking for. I'm
Tell me
not
about
sure. I'll tell you all about him as soon as.
Yes. So Bingham Barrels. Both of you could roll me a connect. Pat will probably know more than you, Max, either way, but.
Charisma connect, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
We were so fucking planned out for this thing. My goodness. Let's see.
You see, I don't believe in wills. My only document of the sort is a piece of paper saying that whatever being or person kills me gets all my stuff.
Personally, I'm a believer in free will.
Does Mars have socialized legal services?
Socialized eco services. Well, there were communists, but we won that war.
Ah, well done.
So, Alton, I will say in your time on Mars, you've heard of the Barrels. They're a family of barristers, a well-known lineage of Martian barristers. You don't know Bingham in particular. Abigail, what you know, and I will divulge in front of Max, is that he was a eco-minded Martian, and he specialized in ecological law, and he took a very fine interest in natural things and had the atmospherics on Mars, which the two sides of Mars, East and West Mars, took different approaches to. West Mars created a handful of paradises and agricultural zones, while the rest of it mostly was shitty and required atmo filters, whereas East Mars had a long-ranging, planned ecosystem that was intended to normalize it for agriculture and sustainability over generations. Generations later, East Mars is actually the most valuable real estate in most cases, outside of course, the Valles Marineres and a few other locations.
Indeed.
I think you mean
East Mars was the communists, right?
You mean like the Marino Trench, not the Marinera Trench?
Yes.
No, the Valles Marineres. I don't fucking know. It's an actual place.
The Marina
Mars.
Valley. We're not going to get into this right now.
All right.
Well, the Valles is my last.
Also, important question: how does one determine an East and West Mars?
Hemisphere.
Where's the line drawn?
The line is drawn where the communists start and the capitalists and free enterprise end.
At the battle on the edge of space, there was a skirmish between like two rover-bound units, and they signed a truce there, and that was the line of demarcation, and they just cut it round the planet, and that was the eastern and western hemispheres of Mars.
Nice.
Whack.
Sounds a lot like Westmore. JK. Yeah,
right.
So I'm looking for a guy. Looking for this Bingham chap. Think you can help me find him?
Yeah, like I said, I'm available for cases.
Very important to me.
Well, yeah, he's executed your father's will. I'd imagine you want all that cash money.
Yes, that's definitely exactly it.
Trying to get them dollar bills.
Well, dollar bills go a long way in this economy.
Trying to pick up some fat stacks.
I'll take the thin ones, too. As long as they're stacks, it makes no difference to me.
All right. Any leads on where he might be?
Let me tell you.
Yeah, so you would both know that he has a legal office on Marsopolis, on Mars.
Ah, yes. The capital city of Mars, Marsopolis.
The post-unification capital.
Which I imagine is on the demarcation line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go. All right.
The Berlin of Mars, they call it. Marsopolis.
Why would a Martian looking for another Martian on Mars come all the way to Earth to pick up a gumshoe like me?
I asked myself the same question, but my heart of hearts, I know you're the man for the job. And also, I know you ask the right questions and don't ask the wrong ones. My character says as she blows her cigarette all over your face.
Like I said, no smoking in here. The landlord is very insistent. And I swear the guy just sits on the floor above, sniffing the floorboards all the fucking time.
Oh, as if that stopped you before.
That's true. I usually just do it out the window, but
I'd like to do it wherever I am. And right now I'm here.
wow, you just really have a bee in your bonnet about this.
Come on, it's the future. Smoking's ubiquitous.
Or less ubiquitous, kind of depending on the way the future goes.
We're in the future where it's ubiquitous.
Actually, I mean, I imagine smoking wouldn't be very prevalent on Mars, given that early Martian colonization would have been long enough that you would have more or less kicked a habit by the time you got there, not being able to smoke on a spaceship.
Indeed, it is tend to be seen as an the vice of the nouveau riche and old money who vape.
Yes, we engage in the very, very 1950s conceit of vaping.
Ah, yes. Puff, puff, diddly, diddly.
Indeed. It's powered by atomic energy, wouldn't you know? Get cancer
Atomic energy?
all the ways.
I hear that stuff is completely safe with no known byproducts or illnesses.
Same as cigarettes, wouldn't you know?
Yeah, cigarettes. Cigarettes. Smoke a bunch of them to make your baby smaller.
Causes less pain on the way out, if you know what I mean. That's why I smoke a stack a day.
A stack?
Pack.
That seems like a weird way to organize your cigarettes.
Well, if you have as many as I do, it becomes quite important to do so.
I feel like you're trying to brag about the number of cigarettes you own. That's not that impressive. You can just go to a store and buy cigarettes, and they go stale. Wouldn't it make more sense just to buy a pack whenever you need one?
I can afford to do both.
That's just confusing.
Good times, good times. Really reminds me of all those years ago, back on Mars. We were both young things. The weather was artificial and amazing.
The way it curves, cast shadows during the red sunset.
Yeah. The way your fedora existed. I like fedoras. Why'd you lose it?
Oh, I'm still wearing it if you look at my character art.
Oh, why yes, it would appear that you are.
Well, I'm probably not actually at this particular moment in character, because it's probably on a hat rack next to my desk, because we're indoors, and that'd be weird.
Indeed. Well, if you'll take my job, I've got a Cadillac Vivara 3000 shuttle waiting in the garage.
And by the garage, she means the nearby spaceport.
Of course.
I was about to say. All right.
And the gay roll.
You have yourself a deal.
Let's shake on it. Sorry, I'm not looking at the screen. You're shaking. Tally ho. Allons-y. Whatever they say these days. Let's go.
Indeed. So, you two managed to hop an Uber, space Uber, to the nearest the nearest Earth terminal services, which is
You might want to order it on your app. I have a really terrible rating. I have a tendency to get shot at in these things.
Oh, good to know. I'll order from mine. My goodness, I didn't know you were this far fallen.
Oh, don't worry. I only use Uber when on the job. I take lifts for personal use. It's a bit more, but it's worth it to not be shot at.
I suppose that would be prudent in that case. I'm no stranger to being shot at, but
indeed.
I tend to avoid it when I can.
You arrive shortly at the Earth terminal, and you find yourself at the security line where a couple of Franks are hanging out. Like, there's a couple of Franks, see?
My
What's,
goodness.
Frenchman.
What a
You-
filthy
I know they took
language.
over the world's TSA services because they like to be obnoxious.
Ah,
Yeah, you hear various
degenerate
spaceport
the
sounds.
French.
And do any of you have anything that might not get through TSA? And do you have any, those of you who don't have foci that might result in you being able to get by?
Je n'ai rien
All right.
d'autre, mais
First
bien.
question. Aren't we taking a private shuttle?
You are, however, to reach the mooring that she has, you do still have to go through the main concourse.
Makes sense.
Ah.
So it's not illegal, but you will have to declare it. And they will have to process the fact that, guns are being taken off-world. Because, surprisingly enough, the Martians like to control that.
Hey, Lee,
Well,
I've got a
Martians are
great
big rude.
question for you. Did I declare it on the way in?
No. I don't
I'm
imagine
not
you did.
declaring it on the way out then.
All right, yeah. So, Abigail steps through the
All right.
scanners, beep, beep, beep later, and like, well, ma'am, you're free to go.
Excellent. Thank you.
Do I have any friends in the TSA? At this particular the spaceport nearest to my house?
Roll me a connect. And yeah, this is in the basin of a Great Lake, and like the water has been like drained from local areas and the aquifer to pool together to form a deep enough area to park spaceships. And yeah, you know the local engineered cat lady who works at the bar, the milk bar, right around this corner.
Oh my goodness, we have cat ladies in the future? I love this future.
She's regrettably
Yes, that Elon Musk fellow from the 2040s got them together.
Oh, what a great guy. I recall that man.
So yeah, but you do know Niana, but Niana does not really have a connection that would allow you to get by this security checkpoint.
Oh, hello. All right, so here's how we're gonna do this. I'm going to.
My character looks back at you like.
So I'm gonna go up to the security guy and be like, "Look, see what's in this pocket right here? It's a diplomatic parcel. If you catch my meaning." And I slide him 20 credits on the table.
Can I get a talk?
Jesus.
Okay. He's like, oh, gee, that sounds real important. Are you like, do you work at an embassy or something?
Yeah, I'll something.
He's like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, if it's made of metal or seems combustible, it'll show up on the scanners. So you can just, hand it to me and I'll move it over here.
All right, so I just handed my whole jacket with the gun inside of it.
He's like, oh, okay.
I walk through the scanner.
Okay, so
take my jacket to the other side.
Yeah, so he's like, yeah, just come over to the other side of the counter and we'll get it to you, sir. Please stay within the cordon. And yeah, there's a little computer here or monitor booping off stuff. Niana gives Alton a wink, and you hear the.
I give her a little like.
You hear,
I like that she's right next to the milk.
You hear a grinding of doors as the service door opens up. That's a little bit strange, though, considering that those doors aren't supposed to be open right now. You know what else is strange? The people who walk out wielding assault rifles and shooting in the air. It's initiative time.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, shit. Okay, now I want to say that due to things, I roll initiative twice and take the better result, so...
Oh, my. That is a fancy ability.
I rolled a 7 the first time, so it's a 7.
All right. The Franks act on initiative 1, and the terrorists have individuality and will act individually.
This says a lot about the society.
We live in a society Franks rise up.
All right. So it is a terrorist's turn, and they are going to move to here, and they are going to say, "Nobody move! We only want this shuttle." By the way,
They would happen to be referred to a
Is
different
this
shuttle.
shuttle my shuttle?
Your shuttle is the Cadillac Verera 3000 on the far side of this gangway, yeah. And one of them says, "Freedom for East Mars! Death to the capitalist pigs!"
My goodness.
And he's going to declare Overwatch, and anybody who seems like they're going for a gun is going to be shot at. It's another terrorist's turn. This terrorist leans over the counter and takes a hostage. "Oh God, please don't shoot me, I have a family." And he's like, "You say that, but you are cooperating in the bourgeoisie economy by working at this spaceport." And it is Alton Miller's turn. Alton Miller, the coat is like being handed to you at this time. Like, it is held up in front of you.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to point out the particular wording of your Overwatch declaration, which was, "looks like they're going for a gun."
Uh-huh.
Correct?
Correct.
You will agree to that. Good. This character is also a humble Southern lawyer, just so you know. Well, given that my client here the defendant here so freely admits to that fact, I say that it will not trigger the Overwatch if I grab my coat as I do a tuck and roll over this counter into cover.
Yeah, I know, but you give me a dex or strength exert to make an effective duck and roll over these the concourse and computer consoles and cordon and other words.
I can, but I will not do it well.
That's all right. It's fun to hear how bad you fail. You managed to bonk your way over, not so bad. Your foot lands on one of these things, and the door behind you goes open, and the Frank's like, "What are you doing?"
I'm trying not to get shot, Frank.
All right, so you
Are
have
they
your...
called Frank because they're all French? Are they all named Frank? Is it some agency, or are they French?
They're not French. Frank is just sort of how the profession of less than intimidating security tends to be referred to in this world.
All right.
You know, like mall cops are Franks, the TSA are Franks.
All right. I was really hoping they were French.
You can go ahead and give us that line though.
I already did. Move on.
All right. So you have you've moved here. You have possession of your gun. The terrorists have noted your swift action. Abigail Valles, what's your play here?
I'm gonna put a ducking modifier on myself.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Terrorists. What am I ever to do? Oh please, Mr. Eastern Martian. Please don't hurt me. I've got a husband back on Mars and I desperately want to see him alive. Oh, he misses me so much.
All right, I'm gonna.
We just had our honeymoon.
Boob check.
All right, so you roll me a performance or a talk or whatever you think is gonna do you best here.
Well, yeah, I've got a +1 to talk, so let's go with that.
Yeah, so he's like, "You will be fine, but do not get any closer."
Why? You don't think I could possibly cause you any harm, do you?
I was raised in I was raised in an egalitarian society, and I happen to know that women can be their most dangerous on their knees.
Oh, well, we don't have that in West Germany. I mean, Mars.
All right, what do you? So he seems a little. He lets you get this close, but he looks like he might be threatening if you get closer. And you're between him and the information kiosk terminal. They're just like blaring, "You'll have nice weather on your trips to Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, the asteroid belt."
Okay, so wait, I started.
Hey, Abigail, I would like to take a trip to Uranus.
You've already been to Mars. Wait. So I still have 1 foot of movement, right?
You could, yes, you could. Do you wanna give him the old 1-2 step?
I think I do.
Now, 2 notes here. A focus you have means that you can't miss if you use your ranged weapon. You are better in general with mollywopping him. I will leave that at your discretion. Neither is an execution attacks because you don't have a minute to set it up. But yeah, so you have 2 weapons you can. Yeah, okay. So
Holy shit!
Abigail, just sort of describe how you do this.
So he tells me that I can't move, and I'm on my knees down there over 1 square over. So what I do is say, well, if you really don't intend to hurt me if I don't move any farther than this, then I suppose you'll have to try your best. And I jump up, and as I'm doing that, I knock the fuck out of him, hopefully. And what I really want to do is swirl him around and have my hand on his throat, suggesting that if the terrorists were to try to attack me, they would have to go through their comrade first.
All right.
So excellent fisting, Miss Vales.
All right. So you want to get grappling.
I'm just like pow, and then yank him back.
Can you roll? Can you? So you deal 3 damage, and then you roll me your punch skill, and you will contest with him.
Well, that's an 11. I'm probably not going to get that far.
So you don't manage to grapple him. His gun shoots into the air. People scream. People look like they may run. It's a bad time all around. It is a terrorist's turn. This terrorist is going to move up to here and try to shoot you. You are behind this cover. Oh. Nope. Yes. And so a 17 does hit you, even with your cover. You take 5 damage, and you are remarkably still not that bad on damage. So that was the terrorist's turn. The Franks are like, oh gosh, somebody hit the button and summoned the security robots. We can't handle this.
No! Fucking worthless.
And they punch a button, and you hear a metal clank, 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 as they all sort of just, hit the deck and cower where they are.
I can see one of them, and I recognize that art. I know where you got it from.
Yes. I think we all do at this point. Shills the...
Yeah.
What is it, 100 ugly faces?
Yeah, so it's a terrorist's turn. This terrorist doesn't like the fact that he's just been punched very hard by a woman who is wearing what appear to be dainty gloves, but are in fact kinesis wraps. And the super tensile fabric slams into him, and he's like, oh fuck, oh shit, shouldn't come. And he is not prepared for this.
Nobody's prepared for the Western Martian Inquisition.
Yeah.
He's not prepared for the rap stylings of this dame.
So he's going to try and hit you and fail to do so. And then he is going to try and back up. Now, I believe that means you can use an opportunity attack on him. So
it certainly should. Oof.
You still deliver the shock damage. So you knock him a bit as he retreats. He manages to defensively raise his arms, but your kinesis wraps are bruising the bone and muscle, and he is not going to stand up to that for long. By the way, I should probably change from generic spaceport sounds to groovin'. Wait, no, hold on. I don't have a fight song.
Yeah, I didn't really choose any fight songs. That's my B.
Because
I just kind of went to the jazz
I know
section.
are from Cowboy Bebop or Bacano. Bummer. Don't you have something up tempo from another game?
Just go for something atmospheric and good sounding. Don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tension rising. All right. So
yeah, this works.
Yeah, so you damaged terrorist. He's going to continue to fall back, but he's going to go a bit northerly because he's still angling for that shuttle. It is now your turn.
Me?
Yep, Abigail Valet's turn. Now.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
boop, boop. I'm not finished with you. Alright, so first things first, I'm gonna try and kill him.
Okay, so, yeah, you knock him the fuck out. Right,
But before his body falls, I would like to collect it and use it as cover.
Okay, can you give me an exert? Strength or dexterity? Probably dexterity.
I think it's sent without asking me which one I'd prefer.
Yeah, so I'll add 1 to that, and yeah, it's you managed to catch the body. It everywhere you go is difficult terrain, but you are carrying his body.
It works. So I'd like to, yeah, I'd mostly like to carry it so that I don't get shot from this guy. Not as worried about the other guy. And frankly, I want to move kind of 1 over. TBH also. That'll be my turn.
All right, Alton Miller. You've heard the sounds of shooting at your client, and also the sounds of breaking bone.
I'm gonna do a peekaboo shoot lower terrorist.
Are you shooting through your coat, or have you taken the gun out of the coat?
Oh, guns out of the coat. Coat's on.
All right.
Because if you've seen The West Wing, the president in that is able to like whip a coat around and put it on like half a second. My character can do that. Stab him. Cannon.
Excellent.
He did that, and in the process, also drew the gun out. He's now going to shoot at the terrorist.
All right. Papa's that shot.
I miss.
Lamentably, yeah. So with that Blade Runner sound of, yeah, the bullet goes wide. And do you remove it all, or? I mean, you're in cover. You're crouched behind cover, and you're in the security concourse with backup on the way. So I don't know why you would.
I'm probably going to move right here.
Fair.
That's it.
This terrorist clambers over, having his own human shield, and physical cover, and he's going to decide that he is gonna risk it for the biscuit. He does not manage to hit you or his comrade. The bullets go wide. People are running. People are screaming. Ah! Niana is on deck. Everybody's running, fleeing. Is a different tourist turn. This tourist is has just been shot at, so he's in a sticky wicket, right? So he is going to try and hop the security area.
My goodness.
He's gonna succeed, and he's just gonna turn his AK-99 on Frank and fail to shoot him terribly. It is a safety bot's turn, and you hear, "Please do not resist. We are here to normalize the situation. Please do not resist. Situation, political dissidents. Please do not resist." And attempt to shoot the terrorist with their stun gun. They are all... all of them are missing terribly. It's a different.
Have you ever seen that scene from The Naked Gun where there's 2 people 5 feet away from each other, both popping out from behind cover and missing each other? That scene.
Yeah, and more stun gun rounds go high.
Sorry, I haven't
The
seen
Franks, this one is going to try and crawl over here because he doesn't want to die. This one is going to cower in place. This one is going to cling to Alton's leg like, "Please, Mr. Diplomat, could you try diplomacy? What about that special package? If you die, you won't be able to deliver it."
I have the gun out and I'm shooting it at this point. I love these guys.
Yeah. So
I'll show you diplomacy.
So the terrorist who you have like beaten the shit out of and might have internal bleeding is like, your current is here. Abigail Valles, what's your plan?
This is my plan.
You whip out a ray gun. Oh no! Ooh, the air superheats between you and your target with a blusterous blow. We see how that attack goes. Regrettably,
wait. So you said that there was a way that I couldn't miss if I was firing with a ring.
Let's check the assassin focus, which says you can draw or produce an object as an on-turn action, and your point-blank range attack made from surprise with it cannot miss the target.
Okay, this is not a surprise scenario.
Oh, so I think the idea is if you sneak up behind someone, you can just pull a gun out and shoot him in the back before he can do anything.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so surprise point.
I totally did not read that before we started.
I should have better informed you of that. I will say
That's all right.
I will let you use that in the future to cold clock people with your kinesis wraps.
Okay. Either way, though, I shoot at the one that's behind the counter, and probably because the guy's behind the counter, I totally miss.
Thankfully, you also miss. This guy was like, "Oh God, no! Please, please, I have a family." It is Alton Miller's turn.
I'm like, I turn to the Frank and I'm like, don't worry, I got a counter proposal for him. And I pop up and I try to shoot him again.
All right, pop your shot. He's not yet in cover from you. All right. Ooh, that's a miss by 1.
Are you fucking kidding me?
These guys seem pretty well equipped. In fact, you guys could roll int no at around this point in the fight if you wanted.
Yeah. Why are these guys so well equipped? Oh.
And this guy sees that he sees Alton firing a revolver and he hears that and he's like, all right, I'm gonna shoot at that guy. He is also going to miss. Wait, no, a 16.
Thank God for that cover though.
16. I think you're getting 3 AC from it, so I think you're barely missing. He's barely missing you.
Awesome.
This terrorist is going to move up to here and fire a safe T-bot from a safe crouch. The report from his AK-99 blaring across the terminal. The round misses him. Yeah. Abigail, you get the feeling that well-armed and armored East Martian terrorists in a Chicago spaceport just seems a little far-fetched. Based on what you know about East Martian separatists and those otherwise displeased with the arrangement. Almost like this is a write-off cover. So, it is a safety bot's turn. The safety bot is going to be like, allow me to interpose myself for maximum safety. And he begins to charge at him and continue firing his stun gun. He does not hit. It is another
Jesus
safety
Christ.
bot's turn.
I like how Abigail is the only effective combatant in this entire place.
Yeah, everyone else is like, gun, gun, gun. And she's just like, hey, bitch. Like, just fucking cold clocks them.
Will you happen to have the royalty-free version of the Benny Hill theme to play for when it switches to anyone down here's turn?
Not yet. I might have to get that for any eventual break. So, the stun gun. Oh, okay. Yeah, with that, the other safe T-bot drops this terrorist, and he is immobilized. It is the Franks' turn. The Franks are like, oh gosh, what a counter proposal. I think I gotta go get a whole essay ready. And he runs in here. And the other Franks, now this one feeling a little emboldened, runs up and tries to pick up the terrorist's weapon. Although it makes a as the AK-99 appears to be bio-locked and will not fire in the hands of someone who is not a registered communist. And this Frank just sort of like cowers and like waffles.
Really well.
I would like it even more if they were anarchists, and he says it doesn't fire at anyone who's not the hands of a registered anarchist.
A registered
Fucking anarchist.
So the terrorist is still out, probably dying by this point. Abigail's woman handling of him, I should say, probably not helping. What's the play here, Abigail? There is one foe remaining who seems that they are a significant threat.
Well, I've got my blaster out, haven't I? It's time for a little bit of a crossfires, a bit of a sun's out, guns out scenario. If I can get my weapon stats out. There we are. Laser pistol. Let's see. Oof. Does a 9 hit?
Does a 9 hit? Does a 9 hit? Tell me when you feel it hit. Does it make you quit? No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Alton Miller.
Question: does he have the gun pointed at the hostage or at Abigail?
Presently, gun is aimed at Abigail. After she started just taking people out, he decided it was more important to shoot her. It's also possible he's not actually intending to execute this guy, but he is using him as a human shield. Like, he's got him on the other side of the counter. He's got, like, an arm around his neck, and he's, like, firing over his other shoulder. And he's behind the counter.
That person must be getting catastrophic hearing damage. All right.
Yeah, no, like...
Poor man.
I'm going to stand up, first thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I am going to... Do I have the range to even shoot this guy from where I am right now?
With your revolver?
No. It would be long range.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming this is to scale.
Yes.
So I'm actually gonna get up and move.
Oh wait, hold on. Are the ranges given in feet or meters?
I have no clue. I assumed meters.
Because this is 15 feet. I could pop this over to 2 meters, and you can re-estimate that.
Well, actually, I have the. It doesn't actually mention range. I'm sure it mentions it somewhere. Okay. Assuming it's in meters. Oh, yeah, now I got the guy in my sights, no problem. So yeah, I'm gonna try to shoot him as well. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna what's movement in this game? I forgot what the distance you can do.
30 feet, basically, is what we'll assume.
Okay, so 8
10 meters.
10
meters.
18. So I'm gonna move out to here. And I'm gonna, gun still in hand, up like this, be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Everyone calm down.
All right, give me a talk.
Would this count as negotiation?
Yes, it would, so reroll any ones.
All right, I'll just roll d6 to be that one.
All right, so that's
now a 7.
Wow. He doesn't immediately shoot you. He instead pops out from behind the counter and begins to drag this guy this way. He doesn't get very far. And he's like, "Oh, don't come any closer." And the safe T-bots are like, "Warning, hostage situation, hostage situation. Please await trained personnel. Taking up positions, taking up positions. Hello, we are the negotiating stand-ins. Please, do not commit a crime." The Franks are like, "Oh, good thing the bots are here." And this guy has given up on trying to do that and has pulled out his own stun gun, but he doesn't really know what to do with it. It's the guy in Abigail's hand's turn. It's Abigail's turn.
I don't suppose I have a minute, do I?
To line up an execution attack? No, you do not.
If I can distract him for a minute.
I mean, even if you distract him, I highly doubt that I'll have that minute.
No, this is actually my plan. If I can distract him for a minute, or you can distract him for a minute, and he's not paying any attention to the other one of us, that's execution attack time.
Okay. I'm going to start lining up an execution attack. And I'll say something along the lines of, "This man in my hands is hurt. He's not dead yet." Even though that's totally a lie.
You probably don't want to say anything. You just want to be silent. I want to start talking to this guy in such a manner as to make him focus 100% of his attention on me.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. So Abigail and Alton, you both have a 7 initiative. Do you want to do whatever you're gonna do in conjunction?
Mm-hmm. I would look over at him and be like,
"Yeah, we were like, just like on Cato Namodia.
Yeah.
Just like back in the Mariner Valley." All right, so I'm gonna step a little bit closer to the guy. I'm gonna be like, "Look. You don't have to die here. No one else has to get shot. Just slow down for a second, and we can talk this out. My name is Alton. My name's Alton. What's yours?"
He's like, "My name is Boris," he says, questioningly. So, yeah.
I go like, "All right, Boris." Sure, I can work with that. Boris, do you want to die today?
No, I do not. And the guy in his arms like, "I don't either. I really don't either."
Hey, friend, just keep quiet for a moment. So, Boris, there is a situation in which both you and I can get out of here with no more lead in our body than is already in it from the lowered water drinking standards. Does that sound something you're interested in?
Look, roll me a talk.
We gotta show feet, please. Well, our
Show
viewers
feet?
just tripled.
Wait, who wants to see feet?
Whose feet do you
Pat-
want to see?
Oh God, wait. Heather, do you see what you just brought upon us? Heather, did you catch that?
What?
Why, hello there, Heather.
So that's Abigail's. So Abigail, you're lining up an execution attack as he does this, right?
Yes, I am.
Boris is like, I would like Synth Overseer banned. Boris is like, yes. Well, we have demands that include a transportation off world and money.
All right.
And look, I understand, we're really 2-0 here, but obviously those safety bots aren't going to approach while I have a hostage. So, and I understand you have my friend and I have your random civilian bystander, but really, like, is it any skin off your back if I happen to leave here in that shuttle?
I'm like, look, listen. I'm not some civilian bystander. I'm a diplomat. Ask the Franks. I look over at the Frank that I tricked.
Frank's like, oh yeah, he's got a real important diplomatic mission. And Boris is like, you are? Like to
Yeah, I'm
Mars?
like, look, I got some real power.
You're gonna
I
get
can make this
fucking
thing work
kidnapped.
out for all of us. I could use a win like this in my record. I'm running for re-election.
Oh wow, I didn't even know they elected diplomats. I guess that's what bourgeois democracy is all about. Well,
Election, it's more like if I convince my drinking friends to let me do it again, but that's not the point.
Maybe if you, we could use a diplomat. You could come with us in the shuttle and we can work things out.
Okay, has it been a minute yet?
Yes, it has.
Alright, I fire my shot.
Alright, so now you make a skill check.
Okay, let's go.
Shoot.
I hope I have ranks in that.
You are more of a punching gal.
Oh my god, I don't have ranks in that. Lee, you made my character. Why didn't you give me ranks in shoot?
I said I was like, yeah, you could be a puncher, you could be a shooter. So, that execution attack.
Oh god, do you need to roll for execution attacks?
Their skill check.
Well, Lee, wait. If I can assassinate can I assassinate from not a distance?
Yeah, if you could be at melee
Alright,
range.
wait,
there is an
can I
execution
make
check.
can I make a talk check to determine if I can talk him into letting me get closer?
You can try to get closer and then make the talk check to see how that goes.
Okay.
With the narrative being you begin the talking far away from him.
Yeah, I'm basically going to see if I can.
Are you dragging him
get
closer?
him. Yep. No. I'm but this time I'm doing so in a more like I knocked him unconscious, but I don't know how much longer he has. He took a lot harder of a hit than I thought I was giving him. It must be these special gloves I got from my daddy in Mars.
They're like, hold on, are those kinesis wraps?
Thanks, Mars Daddy.
I thought they were just pretty. So let me get.
He's
give
like,
you that.
he's like, wait, no, I've literally seen you pull this on him. I'm not falling for this.
No, yeah, actually, I think he might.
And,
Damn, that's not a good talk roll.
So he
My
points.
character.
He steps back, and he points his gun at you.
Was that going to negate my?
I know. I feel like the assassination attempt still happens. I feel like you still shoot him.
Okay. All right. If he gets past me, then I'll go for the shot.
So the laser shot happens. It narrowly misses. He drops the guy he's carrying, runs back here, and tries to slam these door controls.
Okay.
Both you and Max have one turn to act before the door drops. It'll be
All
Abby,
right.
Alton, and Boris. So Abigail, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm gonna pop right over here and pop a shot.
Well, Abigail goes before you though. So Abigail, what are you doing?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm dropping my guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then boom.
Yeah. So you hit and you burn away at him.
And this is a system where I can make one more move, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Alton.
All right, and I do a big shooty, and hopefully actually hit something this time.
The bang sizzle of the chemical cartridge whirs in a dust cloud of nothingness as the shot goes wide, slamming into the metal wall within this maintenance hallway of the spaceport. As I deploy one of the great bullet hole decals in the tile set.
Oh yes, the
I mean, I know you zoomed in on that, but like, it's impossible to see.
Yeah, it'll be quite visible in the map though. Great. For,
oh yeah, definitely. But
point indication.
Tail.
Hold up on a gray background.
Since Overseer is really wanting tail. I don't know if I go get the cat tail, but
Oh my God, get the cat tail. Do it,
we got tail. We got tail.
Get your cat tail on.
No,
Put it on, damn it. I own you.
It's so the doors drop, and Boris, not wanting to die, is going to try and punch Abigail. He's not going to hit her. He's going to fall back. Do you want to make an op?
Of course. Do you even have to ask? Let me see if I can
lady
actually...
never tells.
The shock damage will at least put him down to 1 HP, even if you miss.
That might
Which is what happens. And he starts to run through the facility. And there is, chase music plays. But I don't have that.
We downloaded more music.
If I chase after him, can I get one more shot before he's gone?
So the thing is that the door closes.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind it.
Yeah, so Abigail could open the door on her next turn, or she could run after Boris. What does she do?
Is the door closing at the end of this turn?
It's already closed.
Oh,
That's
but
why
running after Boris would entail opening the door, no?
You are.
No, you're on the other side.
You got inside.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wow, I'm seeing only from Alton now. Do I not have line of sight on my own character lead?
Ha! Whoops.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead. So he's running over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can make that distance.
Yeah, so he disappears around the corner. We'll say you, run him down in a... Can you contest exert for me?
Yes. Oh, wow. That is very much an 8 that I got there on that kinetic wrap. But let me give you an exert.
You'll still take him down with shock damage if you can reach him.
Yeah. Skills.
He's, pushing shit, maintenance cars over behind him. He's hopping over boxes. And you don't manage to quite make it to him. You could shoot him in the back, but you're not close enough to mollywop him.
Okay, then I'm going to shoot him in the back. Very much my style, I'll have you know. Oof. What a shame. What a shame. Shame to be dame that can't aim.
Yeah, Boris disappears deeper into the facility. You could try and...
All right, while that's going on...
Yes.
I open the door.
So
I peek in, seeing nothing's happening over there. I'm gonna go talk to
the door. There's not really a way to control it here, but remotely the safety bots open it up and begin to pursue. And the Frank's like, "Oh, gee, thanks, Mr. Diplomat. You really had our backs there. Yeah, the police are gonna arrive real soon with some questions, but we've automatically logged everything that's happened here in 3-dimensional space. So they'll call you if they need you to come down to the station." But everyone here is on high alert lockdown.
I pull up my compad real quick. I call Abigail, and I'm like, "Where you at, Rod?"
So, Abigail, you are surrounded by a labyrinth of pipes and steam and machinery. You are still, and you're not anywhere near him. You're just in the spaceport's undergirdings.
Am
You
I
could-
lost?
You're not lost.
I'm
You
getting a
couldn't-
lot of audio cutouts. I'm going to refresh real quick. I hope it doesn't mess up your frame. Sorry in advance.
It's all good. But yeah, so Pat, do you want to chase after him, or do you
Well,
want, like, do you like investigate and seek him out?
I suppose it's better to tie up loose ends, ain't it? I might want to ask him a few questions as well. That said, I've got to catch him first, haven't I? So, what I
Alright.
roll to find?
Give me a whiz notice.
Alright. Whiz notice. There we are. God, I'm picking up on his accent, am I not?
By the way,
Damn it,
Max,
John.
so you go back to talk to the Franks, right?
Actually, I want to go. Is this terrorist still alive? The one that she was dragging around?
It looks
Whiz
like he's
notice,
it looks like he's in critical condition after having
Not
been
conscious then.
Yeah, but do you want to talk to Nyana?
Yeah, might as well.
She's like Nyan.
I'm like, how's it going?
She's like, it's going bananas in my workplace. Oh my gosh, a lockdown.
Yeah. You know,
You
it
should
was a
wear the
bit of a
carriers
gunfight
that I
there. Can I
gave
get a tall glass of the cold stuff?
Oh, for sure. I'll be sure to put some of that little Irish flavor in there for you. She says, adding a little Bailey's and cream. And
To my glass of milk.
yes. It's how Elton likes it.
It's highly appropriate.
She serves
This
you.
is the future, okay? We get Bailey's in our glass of milk.
Fair enough. I down it.
For sure, send over here. Yeah, so you enjoy a nice glass of milk, and Abigail, you search high and low, and you can't find heads nor tails of this Boris character. After a while, some safety bots arrive and say, "Ma'am, hello, this is not a place for civilians. Please return to the main concourse and exit the facility post haste."
Thank you, safety
Your-
bots. I suppose my vigilante work here is done.
Abigail Valles, your presence in this facility and the discharging of an unregistered firearm have been noted.
Why, this whole thing? I grabbed it off one of the boys.
I am not prepared to handle accusations, but my truth receptors are returning doubt.
Also, they have a 3D model of everything that happened during this fight.
Yeah, the robots are like, I see no reason to detain you at the present time due to my liberty-oriented programming and your God-given right to have a gun. God bless.
Why, thank you.
I like to imagine the American theme plays in a super bit crushed way out of the robot after that. The American anthem. I just call it the American theme. Jesus Christ.
You did just call it the American theme. I was gonna call you on that. That was funny shit. Okay, yeah. All right, so,
you return to the
I'm feeling a little bit like, oops.
You return to the concourse and see Alton drinking a tall glass of milk with a engineered cat lady across the counter from him, making eyes and waggling ears.
My. Well, I see you've made a friend. Wouldn't be the first time. And over a glass of milk, no less. Why, how?
You know, you need something to take the edge off after a shootout like that. Especially when you miss. A lot.
I would sit down at if there's a stool there or whatever. Stand, maybe, otherwise.
So the lockdown means we can't leave the concourse on our shuttle, right?
Yeah, until all flights in and out are locked down until such time as the all clear is given. So you have some time to kill in the spaceport. The safety bots have taken away the terrorists, and the Franks are trying to restore something like order. Lots of people who work there have left. Some are still here, tidying up shop. Nyana
I thought my
here.
diplomatic parcel bit was so clever, but now the police are going to call me on it.
Yeah,
100%.
no, actually, Lee, I was just about to ask you, do I know of any ways to corrupt a file by any chance? I know I did not choose hacker.
Yeah, I literally was like, hey, you want to have a hacker? And you're like, nah.
It won't come up.
Hey, would
I didn't know you were going to want to corrupt files.
Nyana, would she happen to have any computer experience?
Oh,
She
shit,
wouldn't
yeah.
happen to be like a comp sci major who couldn't get a job, and so
All
now
right, wait,
works as a
whoa.
milk barista.
Can I perhaps argue that it is very, very, very common for cat girls to be comp sci majors and also IT gurus? You can ask almost all of my cat girlfriends.
Yeah, so I would say there's a high chance. Max, roll me a connect.
If this works.
I'm just being real. Most cat girls are comp sci nerds. Woo! That connect roll. I'm not wrong. My life philosophy is vindicated.
I'm like, hey, you do us a real quick favor.
Did you just switch into a German accent?
Hello, I'm Cat Girl. I demand a favor from you.
So yeah, she actually is a comp sci major, majoring in networking.
Whack.
Listen here. I need you to do me a real quick favor. Get me out of some hot water here.
Oh.
Some warm milk.
And what's in it for me, pussycat?
I'm in the same boat.
I'm going to put 50 credits down on the counter.
Ooh, she collects them and she's like, so what do you need?
So, I've been informed that there's a security recording of that fight that just went down. Real shame if it would be corrupted.
Oh, gosh. It would really be a shame if budget cuts means that the system hasn't been upgraded in a decade. And very exploitable loopholes were never closed.
Since
real shame.
All right, by the way, I'm keeping an expense sheet, by the way, Pat, for...
He will be billing you for this. He will be billing.
Oh, wait, I'm 100%. I'm willing to throw bribes around because I'm billing you for them.
Noted.
Yeah, so
don't worry, sugar. If all things go according to plan, you will be compensated.
She says, don't worry. It'll be a meowculous event if they manage to get anything out of those files. Something tells me they're about to experience a hiccup.
I thought you would say what's the word when cats barf, but they can't quite barf? Hairball, yeah. Thought you.
Are you saying the file might have some imperfections?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, hey, that's not cool. Only my people are allowed to do that.
I gotta take a piss real quick.
Niana's like, those are our jokes.
Oh my fucking god, I love it.
Yeah, so...
Have we determined how long Max could stay?
Abigail, do you have a nice tall glass of milk?
Why, yes, I suppose I would.
Honestly, at this point, do we take a 5-minute break?
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
All right. Thank you everyone who is
thank you everybody who came out. We'll be right back in less than 5 minutes.
Yo. You're back.
I will stand here and monologue to the camera in the meanwhile, though, because I already took a piss.
Yeah, let me put on some Noire music for you.
All right, DM Quicksilver, I'm here for you. Don't worry about it.
Yo, Quicksilver, peace out.
The airport's concourses are dark and grimy, like the underside of a hobo's shoe. Every time you walk into one of these airports, you never know where you're gonna leave, unless you check your ticket, or the app which has your ticket on it, because it's the future now. Both of those times you could reasonably figure out where you're gonna leave, unless the plane gets into some sort of plane crash style accident. However, in this instance, we're taking a spaceship, so it'd be a spaceship style crash accident. However, that isn't the point of this monologue. This monologue is about the gunfight we just had. You see, everyone knows rule number 1 of going into a gunfight is to be as drunk as possible. That way, when you kill someone, you don't feel bad about it. The upside is that you won't kill anyone because you'll be so bad at shooting that you won't hit anyone. Does that make sense? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Are you hearing my thunder? Are you seeing my lightning? That's my excuse for why I didn't hit a single enemy with my gun during this combat. Unless there was one. To be honest, I don't remember. It might be the drunk I mentioned earlier. Wow. That voice is surprisingly annoying to do at long stretches. Yes, but back to the matter at hand. This business on Mars is some shaky nonsense. Hear me out here. These terrorists aren't quite as simple as they seem to be. Sure, global terrorism seems like an easy issue to wrap your head around. But in this particular instance, I believe there is more than meets the eye. He wasn't sure what his name was and tried to come up with a convincingly East Martian name, although our DM did not establish what sort of names East Martians had, and so I'm not even sure if that was a convincingly East Martian name. In addition, it does seem odd that a group of terrorists would attack for East Mars would attack an airport in good old Chinatown. This isn't even O'Hare, which I presume is a spaceport now, because let's be honest, it has enough runways and taxiing distance that they could fit it in. I'm sure of it. Yeah, I'm out of shit. I hope you enjoyed my scrambling for 3 minutes of content. We've already done like 2 things in this session so far, so not a ton to talk about. Thank you. I'm glad you loved it. If you enjoy that, I will put out an album of incoherent mutterings, available at your local Kmart. Kmarts are out of business, I realize, but it will just be in the burned out ruin of whatever was your local Kmart. And you can just, find it underneath like a dead raccoon.
I've returned.
Can you hear me? Do you have headphones on, or are you just saying I returned?
I can hear you now.
Okay, brilliant, because I am out of shit to say.
Whack. Oh, hey, look. It's just you and me and all other people with nothing to do. Can't keep my eyes off of you. I don't know the rest of the I'm done.
Yeah, I that's all I know. Like the one bit was like, you and me, and
they were played on the radio.
All right.
It's been a bit since that song was on the radio.
All right, so 5 or however many minutes it wound up being break over. Have you enjoyed grooving?
I got some good reviews on my monologue.
Oh my!
Excellent.
Mirrored.
I'm pretty sure they were pity reviews, but I'll accept them.
Okay, I'm back. Oh, wait.
You'd be surprised. All right, so yeah, you guys hear the sounds of the spaceport all around you as you enjoy tall glasses of milk, and a roll that you don't know about happens. And Niana has assured you that she'll, that things will be fine. She also doodled around on her comm pad for a moment.
I also say, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna tuck this under here, and just like tuck my gun underneath the milk counter.
She's like,
that's a minding situation.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Oh, fine. I take it and put it back in my coat.
I've got places for these.
I thought we were friends.
Yes, not put a gun with a gun in my job with the cars by the way. I don't want to lose my job.
That's fair. This is a nice job.
You have to pay me better.
You get dental?
We do. And vision.
Well, vision?
Yeah.
Did they pay for these? I've been looking for a few myself.
What? No. What? No. Like, my parents paid to have me made this way. I have complicated feelings about it and am somewhat resentful. And also my cat eyes have, well, let's just say I need regular laser surgery or I kind of become nocturnal.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I was one of the C903 batches. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes, so named because they couldn't see.
Yeah, whatever. I'll see you at board game night.
All right, I'll bring Boggle.
Oh,
yeah. Niana's more of an Arkham Horror kind of gal.
All right, fine. I want to punish you, so I'm going to bring Twilight Imperium and play the Turtles and block every vote.
Oh my god. Please get to watch. Wait, no, so shit, we gotta wait for the
It's on lockdown.
Mr. Turtle
Yeah,
vetoes that. But yeah, so you so after a while, the Franks are like, oh gee, well, I guess the safety bots is gonna handle it then. And the lockdown lifts. And most all commercial flights from this airport have been canceled. There's police outside, but you don't see as thorough of an investigation as you would expect at this point.
Look at that. Capitalism wins again. Now let's get going, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The internal monologue. Something about this doesn't sit right with me. An airport shooting, even if the cops didn't want to check out, I'm sure one of the news networks would bribe them to. This sort of stuff gets headlines.
Yeah, Lee, why aren't they dealing with the terrorists? I mean, look, I know in this retro future 9/11 never happened, but that's really no excuse.
You know.
I can make this joke. I'm an American.
So yeah,
you.
So do you guys head north? Yeah, do you guys head out to the ship after the lockdown is cleared?
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
Before they started this attack, did they say to each other, remember, yes, Russian?
I wanted to make the no Russian joke. I'm glad you found a way to work it in.
Oh, I get it, because of the video game where that happened.
Wow.
Did you actually map out the whole ship?
Well, yes. You'll be less impressed when you see the whole ship.
I mean, to put aside all the nonsense I speak, even for a small ship, and I do see pretty much the whole thing from where I'm standing right now, lots of detail, very well done. I'm not even sure anything mechanical is going to be happening on the ship, so I'm impressed that you did it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, Lee
all these tiles and more can be yours with the Apocalyptic Americana tile set coming soon.
Coming tonight,
ideally.
Isn't
this a Corvega ship?
This is a Cadillac Verara.
Cadillac Verara.
Oh yes, a Cadillac Verara, a fine product, much like the new tile set coming to your local tile set retailer.
And yeah, with that, the way to the bridge is opened. You have Abigail has a key fob.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming I can fly the thing too, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got an autopilot. It's got also an espresso maker.
Yeah, which I avail
Look at
myself.
that espresso maker.
Yeah, it also has very comfy reclining chairs because this model doesn't come with sleeper beds. It has a maximum 3 months life support time, and it is mostly intended for shorter core system jaunts. You are, based on the current trajectory, about a week out from Mars.
My, looks like we've got a week to make ourselves comfortable, haven't we?
Yeah, tight quarters.
Indeed.
Indeed.
And with a boop of the takeoff, you guys find yourself roaring up through the atmosphere and then into the black void of space.
My goodness. And that's what we call it for tonight, folks.
you have
space. It's really, really big. No scientist knows exactly how big space is, but some think it may be over 20 miles across, and there may be over 7 planets across dozens of solar systems. No one's quite sure how old the universe is, but scientists theorize that it existed before the 80s. Planets come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Earth is mostly a sphere, but some planets are flat. Others are like rhomboids.
I like to imagine this is like the in-flight educational material from like public access TV.
Many alien species exist in the cosmos, But all of them are worse than humans, because they seem to believe silly things about how old the universe is. Everyone knows that the universe was created in the 80s by Bill Gates.
This informational video brought to you by Voltec for all your vaulting needs.
Yes, Voltec. We make poles so you can get over gorges and fences without a ladder.
Well played.
So, Abigail and Alton, it's 7 days in space. What do you do other than drink espresso and the Fiber One nutrient bars?
Well, I'm sure
I really hope there is more on this ship other than espresso and fiber bars, because our ships are going to be apocalyptic.
Yeah, they're into a tube.
Yeah, but like, is there other food? Is there any option other than... I feel like we're just going to be jittery, shitty messes. Like, that's not a healthy diet. I want warm milk and sushi as my two foods in the spaceship.
I mean, look, why do you
That's
think
a
I
good
am
mix.
the way I am? All this energy drink and shitty fiber bars.
Yeah, so there is, you know, the like standard nutrient-based ration that you can press buttons on, you know, this machine, and it'll serve you up something that is nice, like or bland. It tastes like flavored toothpaste, but
My
you know,
goodness.
it keeps you alive.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
Truly is the future.
But the
I'm
yeah.
just imagining eating toothpaste, and thank you, Jorganges, for the bits.
Oh, we got bits?
Thank you so much for.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm eating a bit of food.
You can name the espresso machine.
Actually,
you
yes.
can, and also,
Old
Jor,
Faithful.
yeah, a lot of this
Uh-huh.
will be in the Alien pack.
Yes, this is a combination of the Alien Pack and the upcoming Fallout and Retrofuture themed
Definitely, yeah.
apocalyptic Americana.
Definitely. Yeah, so you guys managed to,
Mhm.
you know, so you guys you have healthy options, and you have coffee, and you have each other's company. What do you talk about? And Alton, you do have access to the outer net. The outer net is a bounced network that connects the civilized solar system. You have terrible DSL download times with like beeping modem sounds, but you can do research.
All right. First thing I want to check is any headlines about the airport incident.
So you do notice that there is one report of an incident, but interestingly enough, it says that that Pan Solaris, the airline that like owns that part of the Starport's concourse, claims that it was a weapons malfunction when somebody did not declare a checked weapon that was in their coat, and that no one was found, and that the individual in question fled the scene of the crime, but all relevant data had been corrupted. And there is a note that says that the DA's office could not be reached for comment on whether or not they would be attempting to persecute for negligence. And the police say that there is an undergoing investigation, so they cannot comment.
Okay. Follow-ups on that. To start, Pan Solaris. Who owns it?
That's an int no to know who owns Pan Solaris.
Well, I can Google it.
Oh yeah, you can. You can.
It's not to say like, okay, yeah, sure. I could think like, who owns Pan Solaris? Or I can go boop, 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 and then you're like,
yeah. So 10 minutes later, you see like print.
We got weeks on this thing, and I can't think of anything better to do than Google CEOs.
Penumbra Holdings LLC. They do not have their own publicly accessible outernet website. They are just listed in the Solar Exchange as a company with an official registered mark, and you know that they are like the paperwork has been filed in government files that have to be publicly accessible to show Pan Solaris is owned by Penumbra Holdings LLC. They have an enigmatic CEO known for traipsing about in a neon yellow t-shirt and doing dumb gimmick ads. But you've been in the game long enough to know that he is a figurehead for the board. And you've been in the game long enough to know that the board is a figurehead whoever Penumbra Holdings LLC is, because Penumbra Holdings LLC owns 51% of Pan Solaris. So what anybody else has to say doesn't mean shit.
Interesting. Also,
Yeah.
I love the neon.
I wouldn't happen to have any friends in like tax filing offices or such. I could try to dig more into this via email.
Give me a Cha Connect, and by the way, Abigail, you hear Alton just constantly making annoying ass DSL lookup noises over on his part of the con, and you're sitting back, like in the captain's chair.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So you just basically just look over Alton's shoulder as he does this. Alton,
yeah, I would definitely look over his shoulder, TBH, because I actually do want to.
You do know one fairly disreputable journalist who you heard was operating out of Marsopolis. They are interested in post-unification graft and scams, because with the unification of Mars has come a lot more of that. They're in Marsopolis getting scoops. It's possible they know something. Right. You do have their comm number.
Well, presumably I'll be able to, I couldn't really call them because the delay is too much, but I could probably send a message.
Yeah. Well, you can send it. Yeah. So, there's a universal comm hash. It tends to be digitized or, displayed as a QR code. But it is actually just an incredibly long string of numbers and letters. And these, often just called your comm number from a holdover from earlier ages. All kinds of messages from VR StimSense to sent to voice to calls to emails are handled through that. There's other ways to do it, you can still log into an IRC if you're a freak, but all normal human beings use comm pads and comm numbers.
All right, so I'm going to send him a message. Have I ever met him? Does he know who I am?
You have corresponded about a previous case. He seemed happy that anybody gave enough of a shit to talk to him and was reasonably helpful.
All right. I'm going to reach out to him with a message essentially saying, hey, me again, what's up? Know anything about Penumbra Holdings LLC? And after I compose and send that message, because it takes 1 billion years to upload, I'm going to... Do these chairs swivel?
Yes.
I'm going to swivel my chair to face Abigail.
Well, you would seem.
And I'm going to be like, so, what you been up to on Mars? Been a while.
It has been a while.
I also point out this makes it impossible for her to peek over my shoulder, but...
It has indeed been a while. I've been up to my
what you been up to?
hijinks. In addition to
hijinks, you say?
Other light work befitting my natures.
I see you got some fancy gloves going on there.
I do.
Bit of a equipment upgrade from what I knew you were for in the past.
Yeah.
Having a bunch of pennies down your socks and taking them off to whip people with them.
You'll find I've had a lot of upgrades. And up pays.
Not sure that's a word.
Well, it should be, considering how useful it would be to say it in scenarios like that. Now, I can't say very much about my employment, but what I can say is that it's been lucrative.
Employment? I never took a dame like you to be the sort to get a job.
Well, I do odd jobs, befitting an odd lady such as myself.
Interesting.
Don't bother myself with the common fare, you see. That said,
so
I have some dealings with common folk and others with builders and zoning planners. Common folk.
So,
And
you're looking for
yeah,
this barrister.
I am.
Well, did you talk to his office before you came to me?
Lee, did I talk to his office before I came to Max?
No, nobody has. He hasn't been in the office. Like, there's like a law office that has several offices. He doesn't have a firm. He's not part of a firm, but like they just all have their offices in the same area. Like, because they, you only have to pay for one secretary that way.
He's an independent type, and I couldn't track him down. He doesn't have a proper office. He's got connections with my father and other recently ecologically minded individuals.
While I'm chatting with her, I'm also going to be while she's chatting, I'm going to tap on my tablet. I'm going to Google her. Or space Google.
All right. Well,
Noted that you're typing. But not that I can see you.
You know that
I'm one of like those old people that has the typing sounds on their phone. Like,
yeah, no, you probably have a typewriter of sorts attached to a computer screen.
So Abigail Valles, knows that she is the heiress to the Valles Marineris, and she is entitled to one of the most profitable pieces of land, or massive regions, really, in West Mars.
It's all due to me.
Unfortunately, massive economic exploitation has meant that while some parts of it remain a paradise, it is mostly kind of run down and used to just, extract what goods can be extracted. There's been a lot of mining, followed by and there's been a lot of farming. It is one of the most agriculturally promising regions in Mars. But some people have suggested that if its exploitation continues, it could result in collapse.
Interesting.
For this reason, towards the end of his life, Mr. Valles endorsed an ecological. He made allusions to an ecological solution, and you see in space googling around indications that he was interested in preserving the valley.
Interesting. 2 follow-up lines of inquiry. Follow-up line of inquiry number 1. I want to look up his obituary and if there was anything weird about his death.
Okay. Yeah. So he seems to have died when the autopilot on his self-driving flying car gave out over the massive river in the valley that he owned. He tragically
was murdered.
He tragically died in the non-briny depths of the Thracis.
All right, and
such a pity.
2.
Oh, I'm heartbroken.
Were there any soon to start, ongoing, or proposed massive infrastructure projects in the valley?
So, since West and East Mars have unified, government has been a mess, and mass-scale infrastructure projects have been bandied about, but what will, if anything, happen is a matter of rampant speculation, and people are making promises and breaking them left and right.
All right. Not even any private attempts to do some land development or anything like that?
I would say roll me an no, as to do some research, because this is not going to be something you just Google and get an immediate answer.
Yeah, I get it.
Alton gets the sense that the configuration, so like the exploitation of the land was ramping down under his control. There are some luxury houses in the region, and then there is like dome habs that predate breathable atmosphere, even very old and shitty, that are basically just like massive towns of like farmers and farmhands and mechanics and other people necessary to upkeep the industrial way of life, and including some that are semi-abandoned that used to be old mining towns. So it is a fairly populous region of Mars, but most of the housing is either semi-luxury or shit. It is believed that the new Martian Congress is about to adopt legislation related to called Housing Mars. Housing Mars, MCRN Bill 0097, is a very controversial one and is not moved out of committee yet. But if it were to be passed, it would enable the housing and terrestrial development department a very free hand in how to allocate new housing developments and deploy right-of-way. And you also know that the land in that valley is worth a fuckload of money, and that it has not even advanced into committee before taking a massive series of hits from amendments, which insist that above market rate compensation be granted to those whose property would be taken, especially if they were homes, through this eminent domains mechanism.
Okay, for those in the chat, I need you to know something. Every Noire story comes down to eminent domain and land speculation. Every single one. It's back to it. All right. Who is in charge of that committee?
Who is
the committee that will be deciding the land things if this bill passes?
Her name is Allian
I like
Wren.
how at least clearly like
Yeah, Allian Wren is going to be the chairwoman of she's secretary of housing and terrestrial development. So she pulls the trigger on any place that would be populated. She also knows a lot about the local laws, and she's do you Google her?
Yeah.
All right. You notice
I got a week.
Yeah. A few days later, you're doing this, and you
Abigail hasn't come on to me too strong yet, so I got free time.
Yeah, you notice that she's housing terrestrial HTD secretary would have wide latitude in housing scheme if passed. And 2, you notice that she and Bingham went to the same law school.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now. This bill, would it happen to have any provisions preventing the eminent domain seizure of, say, declared public parkland or something of that sort?
So it actually does not, because there is no such thing on Mars yet, and it is presently there is presently a big push. And one of the constant things that the naysayers say is, well, we have no parks. And the constant rebuttal is, well, we can't have parks until we have a park system. And then they say that's not how that works. And there's constant bickering.
All right. Was the former Mr. Vallis,
the Count,
involved in that bickering, perchance?
You see that he liked to stay out of public life and attention. That being said, he was sometimes speculated as being a potential donor of land, because he was later in life a known ecologist Martian who had a lot of land that could potentially be given as seed land. Of course, much of it is dilapidated from corrosive mining techniques and strip agriculture, and the luxury bits even have begun to sag. So it could be a more expensive project than several other potential locations. So it was never considered a front runner, but its size, the size of his land, meant he could probably spare away with some.
You could say I've got huge
tracts of land.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put down after
Yeah. By the way,
Googling for days and making small chat with Abigail the entire time.
I mean, so like, all right, let's be honest. We probably talked a little bit. Do you want to like, do some rolls to see if we, how close we got? Like talk rolls, maybe.
How close we got to what?
Each other, just like as friends.
I'm not sure how talk rolls would determine that, but I'll do it anyway.
I think it's all in the talk, personally.
She says that. That's diegetic dialogue.
That is actually diegetic dialogue, yes.
I think dialogue is by definition diegetic.
All right. Abigail and Alton really kick it back off, and they're starting to remember why they liked each other in the first place. And it's sort of a if you're the last person in the world scenario because you're literally alone in a spaceship together. Exactly. So yeah.
In space.
Alton, do you
no one can hear you make bad choices.
Alton, do you feel yourself getting too close to the client?
No. Alton does not have professional standards. You need to understand this.
Oh, okay. So any amount of closeness to the client is fine. No standards.
Also, I mean, no. So he has professional standards. This is an old flame. Tensions are running high. They're alone. There's not like 2 separate bedrooms. They're sleeping feet away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Is there even like a separate shower, or just like a spout that pops out of a wall?
That.
I think we'd have to share showers.
Have we been avoiding showering to not be the person to shower first?
Well, that's hardly hygienic. We should figure that out. We should perhaps even take our first shower together.
Rub in the space.
So serve
water.
Right as you're about to have a steamy encounter, you get a bleep on your compad.
And I put my pants back on. I checked the compad.
It is from.
I put my sock back on.
It's from Ernest Karnacki.
Ernest Karnacki.
Yeah, Ernest.
I know.
Ernest says it is a very brief message. It is a voice message, and he says, "Listen, I programmed this to delete itself after you've listened to it. So really listen. I need you to meet me in Uptown across from Bingham's office in the Soda Jerk. We need to talk. I don't know, but I suspect you are coming to Mars. If you're involved in this Valis thing, just know it's big. It's huge. And things are going to go down in a hydroponic sense. So, please, hit me up." The message deletes itself.
Okay. First off, cool. Second off, and by the way, hydroponic sense like a Martian saying?
Nope. And that message, by the way, came 4 days after you sent it. You should, if he had, that implies that it took him a day or two to get you the message back, or like multiple days. Like it's not a 24-hour travel time for the messages. It's like a hour or two. So he didn't respond until like an hour or two ago.
All right, I put the compact back down and said we were in the middle of something.
Why, yes.
I believe that I have a track here called "Lovin'." And as that plays,
Lee, where does he leave? Where does Max leave his compad?
Oh! Give me that sneak.
I leave it in my jacket, probably. That being said, hold up. When do you sneak off?
That depends entirely on how well I roll.
Well, whenever you sneak off, you do it effectively. I'm not even going to try to roll a perception against that.
Give me. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So
I'll try, but
let's just say,
give me the whiz notice.
I could need you to be thoroughly distracted for.
All right. So
I will say I have the alert trait, if that matters.
Oh, what is it? Oh, that you can't be surprised in combat.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I'm keenly aware of my surroundings and virtually impossible to take unaware.
I'm not trying to take you unaware. I've already taken you on.
Yeah, so you don't see her. Yeah.
Check your
Abigail, what do you do when you have his compad?
Wait, but before she does that, actually, I want to have some pillow talk.
Okay.
This is important.
All right, and by that you mean like
So-
gamer chair talk in the bridge of your Cadillac.
Shh.
Yes.
Let's just pretend it's pillow talk. Sound. No, what were you trying to say?
You're trying to sit in the same chair as bounce.
There we go.
No, what were you saying?
All right, so that was wonderful. 10 out of 10.
I don't recall you
Now.
being this stiff last time. In either sense.
Yes.
Period.
What can I say? Now, I hate to change the subject so abruptly, but
And I hate to have it changed.
tell me about your father.
What else do you need to know about him?
He's a ladies' man.
He's the ladies' man?
No,
Wouldn't
that's
shock
me speaking about my character out of character.
Oh, yeah, no.
He knows. You
Yeah,
bet them and then
the-
you ask them about their dads.
The most lady maness of characters. Yeah, no. What else do you need to know about my father apart from that which you already do? He was a lot when I was growing up. Genuine terror to be around, as many men are. That said, the notable exceptions do strike me and linger in my mind.
All right.
He
I say,
was-
well, I know about his greatest work, and then I like brush some hair out of off your face. It's a smooth move. Take note of that.
Oh, that was
Uh,
actually kind of smooth. You flatter
But
me, Dad.
was there anything in particular he was working on before his death?
Well, yes, it's hardly secret. He was working to get our estate turned over to be a nationalized park. I don't think he had much of a snowball's chance in hell or re-entry at the opportunity, though, because you know how those government types are. They're not like to change. Now,
Mm.
that said, there's plenty of other things that can be done to those large tracts of land that would fulfill his dream
Yes.
and be possible. Practical terms. And I'm a practical gal, you see.
I'm sure able to appreciate supple valleys and rolling hills.
I have many of those in my part of Mars.
All right.
seem
You
to
can go.
be
You can go peek
capable
my pad
ast-
now if you want to.
Capable astronaut. Yes. So whilst he is distractified, I would like to.
I go like to wash my dick or whatever.
You
Whatever
you-
you males do after
with
this,
that
that's
imagery in
what-
your brain, you go and hep and
Imagine like in
take
the
a-
least sexy way possible. Like,
So what do you look for at the
Like you're
compound?
just like, I can't believe I just had sex with him again. The fuck?
So you're the
well, no, this is after you left the room. Come on.
Yeah, no.
in the recent
character-
messages. The recent messages include one to somebody named Ernest, and there doesn't seem to be a reply to it. It was days ago.
And is that the most recent reply
Yeah.
to anything?
Mhm.
Well, I wonder.
there's also a message on there from bonobos.com about 15% off any shoe order.
How recent was that, though?
That was the weekend before you came.
Oh, okay. Did I
I have it
that?
saved.
That said, there wasn't a recent response in his phone or in his telepad,
Combat.
which indicates to me that there has been something removed with regards to information on that telepad. Now,
Well, it was a message 4 days ago. and
There's
there-
also an email from an account called I am Elvis at spacegmail.com. And if you open it up, it says, I'm Elvis and I'm secretly still alive. I'm sending you this message because I can trust you.
Okay, but did I not hear him have a conversation with someone at some point? It's a very small spaceship, and I've been paying close attention to his actions.
You probably heard some you probably overheard some talk of some earnest variety.
Mm-hmm.
But there doesn't seem to be any voice message here. You could attempt
Right.
an int program to recover deleted files.
I will try. That said, I can't say I expect very much of it. Oh, I have the programming skill.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you managed to recover a partially deleted message. It says, "Hi, hydroponic going down. Soda jerk across office."
Hydroponic going down.
Hydroponic going down.
Sounds like someone's getting wet.
Soda jerk office. Does any of that ring a bell to me? No. Submit.
There's not really enough to go off there.
Okay. Is there like a notice or intuit or something? Because soda jerk and office.
Go whiz notice.
Whiz notice? Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe high DC or something. I don't know. It's probably gonna. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't manage to pick up much.
All right. That's fine though. I have that information. Soda jerk office across hydroponic going down. Good to know. If possible, I would like to hide the fact that I have looked at his phone.
Yeah. Are you sure they said soda jerk office and not soda jerk off ice?
You know, now that I think
you're not sure about that. It might be the case.
There we are. Try to put everything back in order.
I would like to answer catch the seaman for 600, Alex.
Wait, while I'm there, what else does Max's character have on him?
You mean like in his combat?
Well, I mean,
a whole bunch of recent searches about, unless he would delete his recent searches, a whole bunch of recent searches about all the things he searched.
Okay, interesting. That's good to know.
My background is of a cartoon dinosaur.
What does he have in his pockets?
A dinosaur? It doesn't wear pants.
Gun. Okay. Anything else?
I don't know, Max. What else do you have in your pockets?
Well, pretty much everything in my inventory. Gun, extra ammo from aforementioned gun. There's binoculars in there, as well as a Lazarus patch and a lift stim.
Good to know. Thank you.
As well as a small flask.
Interesting. I'll put his things back in order. Now that I know with whom I'm working, I'm sure we can have a very businessmanly relationship.
Yes, a business-like relationship.
Yeah, that's the word.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one.
So, after a week in space together, you guys arrive on Mars. Da, da, da.
You think someone this rich would be able to afford a ship with beds?
What a place to be.
She likes it for the style, not because it has beds.
Home away from home world. Red no more. Claim your spot on the big red dot.
You keep calling them the Mariana people, and I'm going to assume that in the Mariner Trench, that they're in the Mariner Valley, there's a marinara factory.
Oh, definitely.
And that's what her family owns.
Of course we have one of those.
Mars is known for its wonderful Italian food.
Yes. But not pesto. Marinara.
Indeed. You arrive in...
Yes, pesto's an Earth product.
That's
why they call it the green orb.
Pesto's disgusting.
You arrive in Marsopolis, and after getting sprayed down by the hypos and being scanned very thoroughly for pathogens, you are allowed through after a 2-hour waiting period. And you are on the streets of Marisopolis, capital of the big red planet. Things are pretty happening here. Mars doesn't quite have quite the population of Earth, but it's growing, and Marisopolis is one of the great symbols of that. Here at the mouth of the Thrasus rivers, as the river delta opens up to the northerly seas.
Wonderful. It's like I'm home again. I ain't home.
Now, Mars gravity is like 0.7 Earth gravity, right?
Yes. Now,
So
there
I'm
has
probably
been
feeling
some-
pretty. What?
There has been some gravitonic stabilization. So, you do feel a spring in your step. It does not mechanically affect you.
I just wanted to say I feel springy.
Yeah, you can spring. So it's Mars. Yeah. So here in Marsopolis, yeah, you're in Marsopolis.
Not as much spring in your step as last time. Then again, the gravity wasn't so strong then either.
Last time was 5 years ago. That was a lot of knee cartilage ago.
Well, knee cartilage, gravity, things change. Change for the better
Well,
or
some
change
things-
for worse.
Never change. For example, war.
I've heard that one. No, I'm not here to start any wars, nor to set any worlds on fire, but I am, I believe, on the side of positive change.
Alright. So,
In my
normally in a missing person case like this, time is of the essence. But I presume it's been at least 2 weeks since he started looking for him to get here and get back, so time is not on our side here.
time is of the essence, but
Indeed.
I knew
It seems like you-
you.
Yeah. That leaves about 2 weeks before it defaults to the bank.
Indeed. But you're the only guy
All right.
I can trust.
The guy I messaged didn't mention a particular date or time, did he?
No,
Did you say no? I didn't hear you.
no, he did not.
All right, I'm gonna send him a message, just saying like today, 8 Mars PM.
All right, and you by the way,
Which is how long from now? Out of curiosity.
it's you have 4 hours.
All right.
You got in at 4 Mars PM. MST.
Is that actually gonna be the term for it? Okay.
Abigail, what are you trying to notice?
This?
Yeah, I mean, are you hiding this conversation?
I mean, I pull up my tab. It's like it's
Yeah,
like
you,
texting someone.
Yeah, you read it over his shoulder. Max,
I don't take any particular effort to hide it. No.
you're on the mean streets of
All right.
Marsopolis. Which way do you head?
This guy's office is in Marsopolis, right?
Yeah.
We should probably start there. Makes sense
Yeah.
to me.
By the way,
My
Abigail.
thoughts exactly. And as we're traveling along, I'm going to travel to the bathroom real quick. My
Yeah,
bladder is the size of a walnut.
yeah. You pull up in Marsopolis' uptown, and
Ooh,
we're gonna start
la.
you in the furthest possible part of the map, so that you can just walk along briefly while Alton's player does what he needs to do. Yeah. So here you
Wow.
are. Oh, what's this? Oh, nice tiles. Huh?
All
Look
these
at that.
gorgeous tiles.
Look at that
Damn.
blue conch. Oh, fuck. Do I not have it? Don't look. Don't look at anything. Fuck. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. Don't
You
look.
don't
Don't
have
look.
the
Refresh.
Okay, I'm refreshing.
your eyes. I'm hideous. Hideous.
Oh my god. I'm refreshing. I was playing along Lee because I thought it was my malfunction again, but oh yeah, look at that blue concrete. Look at
Indeed.
all that.
You arrive at one of
look at that.
Marsopolis'
Motorcycle. Wow.
drainage lakes. A nice part of uptown where there's water. There's even greenery over here with some biogel spread about.
Look at that
And,
water tile that you'll get with purchasing this pack. Wow. Look
Yeah.
at that beautiful water.
And you see a significant building towering up here, across from an Atmos facility, all laden with pipes down here at this intersection. There isn't a lot of ground traffic because a lot of people are flying above, but there will occasionally be, like a honk honk as, oh, hey, what's this? A truck is going by at the speed of Roll20 loading its library.
I'm gonna refresh the whereby again real quick because I'm starting to get bad audio cutouts again.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Wow, Lee, you really went all out on this map. Oh my god, that's awesome.
And so yeah, Max, do you want to proceed? So you know that south and east, like at this intersection, the southeast side is the Soda Jerk. And when do you arrive? Like how? Like do you go straight there at 4 p.m.? Okay, so it's like 5 p.m. when you get here.
So you go to the soda jerk yourself?
Well,
or am I
I
assuming
want to go
come with you?
to. I want to go to the guy's office first.
Okay. I approve.
All right.
Whichever building that is.
It's the building to the east. You guys want to come around to the front door?
Yeah.
I like how they don't have any crosswalks on Mars. It's a survival of the fittest out there.
Yeah, you see
Crosswalks are for losers.
Yeah, you see some people across the way in the Soda Jerk, and oh wow, can you look at those nozzles?
Whoa.
Wow,
Are
look,
those
it's William
new?
Shakespeare, everyone.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is Shakespeare.
soda fit for a bard.
My goodness.
Before I go in there, I want to glance across the street at the people sitting in the Soda Jerk. Do any of them look like they're the type of people who would just grab a seat and sit there like all the time, like those jerks writing their dissertations at Starbucks?
Potential Pat, where did you go?
What?
Oh, you're the exact same spot that he is. Okay. Boink. Yeah, roll me a whiz notice to like really take stock.
My whiz notice was to see what he was noticing, by the way.
You just whizzing on each other.
Well,
out
you
there.
notice what I notice better than I notice.
Yeah, it looks like this fellow is there typing on his compad.
Wait, ping that fellow? Okay.
Wow, he brought a writing desk too. That's very clever of him.
Yeah, so...
Alright. Now I want to go into the building.
Alright, there's nothing that stops you coming in immediately. You find a nondescript vending machine here. And
Oh yeah, not to be confused with the few descript vending machines that one can find in this pack. Which say stuff like soda and cola and pop.
Yeah, we'll be seeing
And
some of the...
Nuka-Cola is trademarked. If you want it, slide into my DMs.
Yeah, we'll see it. Yeah, you guys, you arrive, and you know it's on an upper floor, so you'll have to take the elevator. There are some controls here to summon the elevator. It's not foreign technology to you. And with a ting, you begin to feel enwrapped by office noises as you step in off the street. And you also hear snooping noises.
Ooh.
As the door
All right.
slides open.
Ladies first, Abigail.
After you. I guess.
No, I insist.
Mm.
And I use the opportunity to check out that ace.
All right.
Oh, look, it's got a window out to the scenery.
It
Glorious.
does.
Glorious decision.
It looks out over the small private park next to the reservoir.
Yes.
And
Those things and more are possible through modern commerce. And also my dad.
And they're possible with the new tile pack.
You're so busy.
just look at the quality on that. Yeah, so yeah, you guys know that it's there on the 20th floor. So you
Yes.
ping and ride up,
To the 20th.
and you move to an entirely different map that is still this
Oh my god,
elevator
Lee, you're treating us. You're treating us.
for no particular reason whatsoever. Ignore the little bit of like street floating in the void. That's
I'm like, wow, those Martians
have to
sound
ship
weird.
actually no. You know what? Yeah. You see a little bit more. You see a little bit more park. Fuck it. Why not? No cap. Who cares? Fuck it.
Look at that shit. Look at Lee. Look at Lee being a fucking wizard.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So wizard.
Yeah, and for
Wizardry.
you don't dwell at all on the
Yeah.
fact that this is an entirely separate map. Nope. And really don't dwell on the fact that I'm going to take you to a different one when you actually ding up to where you're headed.
Oh my god.
Why?
Oh my god. This is so exciting.
Actually, why? I got the first one. The second one.
What is this man on?
Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, we're gonna have to pause the game for a second. Pat and I gathered you here today because this is a mapping intervention.
You have a problem, Lee.
I saw the
Your addiction.
The family.
Your addiction to making high-quality, detailed battle maps has affected us all negatively, and we want to share those effects with you in a hope to change you. I will start.
Ruining us.
Your map
For other
making
DMs.
has ruined my expectations for tabletop game maps, and has also caused me to suffer acute confusion whenever there's any small detail that's out of place because I assume it's intentional. Pat, do you have anything to say?
All I have to say is after the stream ends, we are going to go live with the tile set that is being used in the majority of these beautiful maps provided by Lee, and we would love it so fucking much if you were to patronize us, or even just kind of
for reference, we will be
pass
selling
a small tip to us for any reason,
we will be
because
eventually-
we've thrown our hearts and
We're
stuff
eventually
out
going to roll 20. The first two places will be Itch and Drive Through. If you want to support us the most directly, get it on Itch. I know it can be it's going to be a different distribution platform, but they let us pick the cut they take, and you will also pay less on Itch. We will literally make the price lower as part of it. So,
Exactly.
but yeah. So Alton, you step out and you see a dame chewing bubblegum and blowing it and
My
popping
goodness.
it and then chewing it again. Here at her desk, she seems bored as fuck.
Is that his office? Is it like a plaque?
I don't.
You see, these are the legal offices, like the collective legal offices that he and some other lawyers shared together, and you can't help but notice that there's wood siding on some of these walls in here. That's odd.
Lee, the wood
It is-
siding and this one don't have line of sight behind them. That said, it's totally fine that they don't.
What do you mean don't have the line of sight behind?
So, oh wait, no, they do. Never mind. Wow, I just thought they were black, but no, there's actually line of sight. I'm confused by how glorious your maps
Whack.
are.
All right. So I'm gonna lean into Abigail and be like, all right, they got a guardian at the gate, so to speak. We're gonna play this clever. Want to do the Cincinnati Shuffle?
Cincinnati Shuffle.
Now, you would know the Cincinnati Shuffle is a move where, depending on the gender of the person we're trying to distract, the one of us more suited to their predilections
Indeed.
distracts them with wiles, while the other person snoops ahead.
The Cincinnati Shuffle seems to be my
Now,
style.
can we roll a perception notice to figure out which way they swing?
Yes. Oh my God. Wait, Kim.
Do
yeah.
they have, for example, a short haircut or a WNBA jersey?
Those are not even remotely.
Is she?
Wait, guys with short haircuts.
Does she have a? The real question is she wearing a snapback? Roll me
Wait, maybe
yeah. So
charisma?
Abigail, you get the feeling that this individual can be erotically excited only by Japanese cartoons. But when she has to settle for
goodness.
3D people, she doesn't really care about the genitalia configuration. She just wants them to be pretty.
Interesting.
All right. I look at my alcohol grizzled face, and I look at her.
She's got like a how to draw manga book on her desk. That's how you could tell.
I would be like, Abigail, I think this is
Well,
one
I
of
guess
yours.
I'm up to bat then.
I mean, let's be honest. That character art is, honestly, the most handsome man I have ever seen. Like, chat, would you not have sex with this man?
I mean, maybe.
I mean, he's presumably a long dead guy from
You
some
know
historical
my
movie.
tastes.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be royalty free, right? So yeah, Abigail. I would say you have been detected because she's bored, blowing bubblegum, leafing through her how to draw manga.
I
You know,
suppose I'm up here.
yeah. I would say with your
Yeah,
whiz
so you
notice,
go-
you also
you
notice
distract her.
there are many discarded attempts to draw hands on the espresso desk.
Oh my god. I'm
And
going
you
to
saw, and she looks up and
here.
she's like, "Who you here for?"
Wow. I'm here for my father's lawyer or representative. However,
What's his name?
well, should I tell her outright what his
No.
name is?
You seduce her. Who cares
Okay.
about the lawyer? Seduce
Yeah,
her.
no. She's very down to business though.
No,
my usual.
we said, who are you here for? You say, you.
Oh my god, are we real? Are we in that kind of show though? We are, aren't we? Oh my god, we
You
are.
don't have to
Okay.
do anything. You just have to distract her so that I can pull what I call the authority walk past her while she's
I'm
distracted
sorry.
straight into his office.
I definitely should be doing that. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Let me totally.
That's the Cincinnati Shuffle.
I'm here for you. When I was here last, I noticed those hands, those drawings of hands on the table over there, and
She blushes a little.
I thought to myself, my goodness, whoever is trying to recreate the human body in such exquisite style, why,
Oh,
they must be a masterful artist.
roll me a chat talk.
Yes, and see, I may feign pretense, but in truth, I really just wanted to get to know you better. You see, I'm an aspiring artist myself. I have
Oh, no, don't go that route. Go the route of like, you
need
can
of a
draw
tutor?
from me.
Someone who
She's like
draw the human form
she,
with
she squeezes and she's
beauty.
like, ooh, do you want to see my notebook?
yes,
Okay.
All right.
please.
When she pulls up the notebook,
Look. This
that's
is
my-
actually how lesbians
All right.
relate to each
All right,
other.
Alton,
It
give
doesn't
me,
have to do with bodies and stuff. We get to see each other's notebooks.
all right, Alton, give me that sneak.
Here's clearly my opening. Would it be a dex sneak or
Or
a
a
charisma
I
sneak?
was
to
literally-
confidence walk past.
I was gonna offer you a chaw sneak. Actually, you can confidence walk this.
All right.
I kind of figured, but I feel like this is
Hmm.
more appropriate.
All right, now do you do anything on your confidence walk that increases how confident your walk appears to be?
I'm going to take out. I'm gonna have my compat out and up on my face like I'm having a call, and talk about courtly things like briefs and depositions and filings.
All right, congratulations. You make it by with Abigail's distraction, and Alton, you reach the weirdly wooden office with a nameplate of Bingham Barrels.
Okay. I assume the office is locked.
Yes.
And I assume I've been through there before, maybe. Am I wrong?
You might have given it a visit, but there's a lot of files in there, and you don't have an official reason to be inside. So
Yeah, no, which is
Out of
more or less
curiosity-
why I brought this guy here. More or
yes.
less.
Now,
Figure things out that I can't.
this is a wooden door, presumably some old-fashioned nonsense. What I start doing is I just take one of my credit cards to see if I can jimmy the lock by tripping the little latch thing.
All right, so you take some cards out of your wallet. They're like plastic, semi-holographic nonsenses. You know, there aren't really like credit cards so much as cred sticks, but you have like a gift card to Arby's, and you.
Arby's, the restaurant of the future, of the past.
You try to jimmy it. What sort of skill do you think would
did
involve?
nothing. I
Honestly,
M-
don't know. On one hand, I'm thinking sneak because it's a sneaky thing to break into a place.
Yeah, I mean,
On,
because he got rid of
on
security.
the other hand, it could be thick. Yes, is there security?
There's not. He got rid of it. I would.
Oh,
We'll call this a deck sneak
Old-fashioned, you see.
to jimmy this lock with a sneaky Arby's card. Let's see if it pops. And it does.
Arby's. They have the meats.
Again,
I step
they
in and
do
close
not
the door
pay us,
behind me.
but they should.
Yeah, so you find yourself in a surprisingly analog office with lots of papers, and it seems like the place has been tossed about a little, but it also doesn't seem like it was lived in too gently either.
All right. I'm going to start my own. I don't toss because that's unprofessional.
You also notice a
I
distinct...
peek and prod and
You
poke.
find a distinct lack of a chair. Well, that's odd, but then, to yourself, you see that it was actually used to stand up on to get up at some of the higher filing cabinets.
Wow, that was a nice retcon.
With
I
tools,
start with those filing
Beautiful.
cabinets.
with tools like these in your arsenal.
Yeah, this is so
All right, so
aggressive as a kill.
Alton, you want to take a look? See.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes.
So you are throwing through paperwork. Do you have administer?
I do not.
Roll me an administer and then a notice. Meanwhile,
All right.
Pat,
What administer?
Yeah.
int,
And what notice?
whiz notice, int administer. Abigail, you're talking to her. Her name is Joanne,
Joanne, oh my goodness.
and she shows you her manga. It is mostly of pretty boys holding hands.
Lou.
Cute.
Lee, this is on a
That's
stream.
what mine books look like too.
Lee, this is on a stream. Calm down. You can't have stuff like that.
Hand holding. Yeah. So, yeah, you have a relatable series of moments, and she's like, "Oh wow, yeah. Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?" What's your
Yeah,
name?
that's how you know me though. Like I've been here before. My father had an account here or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause you seem so familiar. You aren't Abigail Valles, are you?
Should I wait? All right, Lee. Does it benefit me in any way to indicate who I am?
It's up to you.
Holly.
That's a
Probably.
player.
Welcome to the intellectual gray area of P-item.
It's a player
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah. Ugh. I mean, Lee, do I want to be seen here or not?
Do you?
I don't really know if it benefits me or not. Do you want to message me?
I can't think of.
Well,
a
the question is, do you have any reason? Is your character inherently an honest person or a dishonest person? Given all other factors being
Okay.
even, would your character by default lie or tell the truth here? And if whatever one they would do they have any reason to do the other one? Think
She's
about
a
that.
practical woman, and lying, however that pertains to my honesty, is a useful tool in my repertoire. However, telling the truth can also be a useful tool and defray, any concerns that I might have that I'll get caught in any other lies that I have. That said,
I don't want to
have you
lead.
messaged me?
I don't want to lead you too hard, but I will say that I don't know that this is a pre-information that you have. This is a discretion call. Do you leave behind a witness who can say, "Oh yeah, Abigail Valles was here," who will already be able to, if shown a picture of you, say, "Yes, that woman was here." So,
Yeah.
how much more harm does giving your name in that instance generate? That's at your discretion. There's also the question of, all sorts of other things about this location and things.
Right.
Meanwhile, Alton,
I mean,
yeah.
there are certainly some things that I don't.
as we hang on Abigail, biting her lip, trying to decide what she's going to say, Alton, you toss the place in a organized fashion. You go tippy toes. We do a montage. You poke around. You find some broken glasses, a comb, crumpled up papers, trash stuff, filing cabinets. You find a rusty old, not rusted, but an old compad which has had its internals ripped out in one of the drawers.
A rusted compound. That thing must be old.
No, it's not rusted. It's just worn. Old compad with
Okay, so I was
internals
about to say,
ripped out.
usually they're made of aluminum.
Yeah. So it's had its internals ripped out. And you also find several design sketches for something that looks like a latticework dome hab with plants growing on it. Almost like if you've seen footage of the dome habs, the old dome habs that dot Mars. It almost looks, and they were modular, lots of them. It almost looks like a spitting image of one of them, but just with central parts of sheet metal punched out and converted into how am I forgetting this word? I love it. Arcology.
Interesting.
Like that one movie where they have
Very interesting. All right.
You also find a letter.
A certified letter.
Yeah. A letter, the contents of which basically convey that the confirmation chip with my thumbprint is to be kept in lockbox 109 until further notice. Chet can be trusted, but don't let him know more than he needs to. We're too close to take any risks.
Interesting. All right. At this point, I put things back where I found them. Actually, no, I'll take the design sketches and the letter. I'll take the things that are interesting, put everything else back more or less in the shape I found it.
All right, and
then
as you're going to the door, you see Abigail getting ready to decide whether she's going to lie or tell the truth. Moment of truth, Abigail. What do you tell Joanne, who's showing you her manga drawings?
Elizabeth Norn. I'm a huge fan of your work, though. Thank you for letting me see your pet journal.
She gives you her outernet link, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this is where I post all of my art. I also have some tile sets for sale if you like to do holographic gaming. I'm a 3D designer student as well, and
I've been known.
You might be hitting it a little too hard.
Yeah. So, Alton, you see, she's still glad-handing Joanne. What are you gonna do?
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna walk out. I don't even feel like I need to roll this time. Generally speaking, walking out of a restricted area is not something suspicious.
Yeah. Although I will say,
presumably I was here for a reason.
Yeah. Although I will say that she does notice you and say, "Oh, I didn't realize somebody had rented one of the open offices."
Oh yeah, just started, and then head to the elevator.
She shrugs and she's like, "Well, yeah, thanks." Insert fake name Pat gave her, Elizabeth or something.
Yeah, it was Elizabeth Moran.
Thank you so much.
Oh, come on.
Thank you.
What?
Well, thanks so much. Definitely leave me a follow. And she's yeah.
I'll totally follow you.
Yeah. Do you actually on your compad?
Yeah. No. Wait. No. Do I have a fake account on my compad? I definitely would.
Probably. Yeah.
I use one of
mine. Like a port account.
You have a shitposting account.
Yeah, probably the one that's least connected to me, like an anime picture with starlight sprinkle dust as the name on it.
Yeah. So with that, Abigail, you see Alton has returned to the elevator. Did you go back with him?
That's the whole name. Yeah, no. So I would see to it that we meet each other before he gets away.
Important question. Moving forward, are newspapers still a thing? Has the newspaper industry managed not to die yet?
Newspapers were a thing in West Mars where they were considered to be like Vogue, but so there's still print publications, but they appear on tablets for East Mars, and those are the more widely distributed ones. But yeah, as you guys get
How else am I supposed to look not suspicious?
as you guys get into the elevator and you look at each other,
Great
you
question.
feel something between you two that you just know is felt between the two of you. A certain emotion, a certain euphoria. You're feeling it. You know what you're feeling? Pretty
Oh.
gangsta. As the elevator lurches halfway to where you're going, and the controls lock up.
Now we find out why we made this fucking.
No, now we find out why he made one of the walls glass. Because the correct response when locked in an elevator with a female companion is to do something inappropriate to do when one of the walls is glass.
I mean, I'd have a bit of an exhibitionist streak.
So, do you guys just show your legs at each other? What? Okay, okay. So, like, do you just start making out in the elevator?
No.
No.
Okay.
We're
just-
both probably trying to figure out the fuck how to get out of here.
Do either you have int or whiz?
This is just
6?
for the lovelies in the chat. You like all this, people? It's gangly and gristly, and the pants don't match the rest of the outfit because they weren't in frame.
Yeah, no, same actually. Except a noticeable lack thereof. Intelligence input
So, you can
or
give me
wisdom?
you can give me a whiz notice or an int fix.
Out of curiosity,
I just
just
want-
knowing stuff about elevators, is there an access hatch?
Yes, there is. Look at this fine, by the way, grate that's a see-through. Look at how you can place it over things to create various visual effects and
Wow.
augment
That's
an
a
area.
great.
Yeah,
I
Abigail.
used to know a grate as great as that grate, but it wasn't.
Abigail, you know that the normal procedure for these elevators, per Martian safety code law, is that it should take you to the nearest floor and open up, not lock up and flash red. That suggests some level of higher level access to this elevator, which suggests that this elevator may be hijacked at the moment. Do you guys do anything with the grate that is above you?
Yeah.
Is it
no,
like
I
within
would
arm's
play
reach,
this
or is it too high up?
It's like it would require someone to be boosted to
Lift me up, I'll take you with me.
All right,
You know I'm
I give her,
strong.
a good old lifty.
All right, now so can I have an exert from one of you?
I
Dex
think it
or
would be
strength
from him,
exert.
Presumably.
I'll roll it as well, but I'm gonna do poorly, I'm telling you right now.
Okay. I'll do a dex exert then. You do strength or something.
I'm better at dex than strength, is what I'll say.
Oh well, okay. Let's all do dex then.
Oh yeah, no, you
Shit.
guys, yeah. Abigail, you're a strong girl. You guys managed to boost up, and oh yeah, you expertly tear this thing down, and you are up and in there pretty quickly. And you find your way over to there's like along the side. There's like a lane with like a
Oh
ladder.
my God.
Seems to lead up into somewhere else.
Beautiful. Yeah, I would not renege on my promise to pick him up.
You pull them up, and as that happens, the elevator lurches a little, and you see the door opening as some
I
strange.
close the hatch most of the way behind me with a little crack open so I can see.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, you see 3 goons entering in, and they look around and they're like, "Where'd they go? Where'd they go? We gotta find them. We can't let them get away."
Ventilation chat.
Okay, I give Abigail some hand signals like.
Sorry, wait. Let me actually look at what you're fucking doing.
Okay,
Sorry.
so I do.
Give me a dex sneak. Give me a dex sneak to ascend without making noise.
Okay.
I think it was the first stream of mind performance of any of our sessions.
Honestly, yeah, this is so much fun. All right, what were we rolling?
Dex sneak to
We'll see how part 2 goes, but I'm totally down to make this a recurring thing.
Oh hell yeah!
you enter and ascend the ladder, and oh, what's this? Do we see more effective use of the grate over other floors?
Oh my! How did you plan this, you motherfucker? What?
I think because apparently he told me, he said this is a story where the mystery is how I'm going to connect all these maps.
True facts.
Lee, you insane motherfucker! We really actually do need to give
Absolute
her an
madman.
introduction.
He
Oh my
actually
god.
Indeed.
All right.
Okay.
Question, important question. What is Abigail wearing?
Yeah, Abigail, tell us.
Well, I mean, probably this.
All right, and she's climbing up a ladder above me.
I would have
Now-
stockings on though.
Yeah, I would also say, Abigail, you are wearing an armored undersuit, a skin-tight bodysuit woven of advanced TL4 fibers. That being said, you can't have transparent panels wherever you want them.
I have them basically everywhere. It's like,
All right.
I honestly, it would be like mildly lingerie looking.
Good to know.
And a little bit shiny, where it's not see-through.
All right, so Abigail, do you want to? You can, proceed in at your leisure.
I would, take my time. And also hurry up. But,
Now you have to be like, is this the moment you take to take your time?
I take my time appropriately and hurry up even more appropriately.
So,
Well, look, there's a starship engine in the floor here.
Why? That is a very reusable piece of machinery, is it not? I say it could be used for just about anything mechanical and interesting of that sort.
I feel like I'm
days
cast on an infomercial, but no one told me, so I'm just trying to play a character. While everyone else is like, wow, the slap chop really can help improve my life.
yeah,
I've just been so invested. And I'm like,
Yeah.
do you though?
yeah.
I
Now-
feel like I'm in that scenario
Now,
too.
Alton, tell us about one of your focuses called Alert and what it means.
Okay, so I have a focus called Alert. Wondering what that's well, shopping network viewers, let me tell you about Alert for
Ooh,
3 easy
while you tell,
payments
I'm gonna
of
switch over
1
to
focus. You are keenly aware of your surroundings and virtually impossible to take unaware. You have an instinctive clarity of response that helps you act before less wary persons can think to move. Level 1, gain notice as a bonus skill. You cannot be surprised, nor can others use the execution attack option on you. When you roll initiative, roll twice and take the better result. Level 2, doesn't matter because I don't have it.
All right. Yeah. So, you hear something like unfurling itself from the walls. And
Okay,
It sounds like the scuttering of a maint bot, but a heavy tread on this one, almost like it would be meant for some sort of industrial terraforming jobs. Certainly not just, cluttering around some office building. What's that doing here? And why is it rolling initiative?
All right.
So yeah, it doesn't get a surprise round because even if it could sneak better than you can detect, which it probably can't, you physically cannot be surprised.
All right. I presume when I find out about it, I shout to Abigail like, "Watch out!" So that she's not surprised either.
Yeah, I will go ahead and take the liberty of rolling her
7
initiative.
or 3. Okay, my initiative is a 7. I keep rolling the worst roll second.
All right, so I can change, or you can, but yeah. So
No, I'm
7.
changing it. Yeah.
Lamentably, it still goes first.
I believe that's called an oof in chat.
So the maint bot is going to come up behind you and just sort of try, like, it's got like a forklift arm out front. It's just gonna try and like deck you with it.
That's rude. Oh, maintenance bot. Okay, if I said mank bot, I'm like, I don't know what mank bot is, but
So it does not hit you. Its shock damage is 2 against AC 15. So you still
you get shock damage on that one.
yeah. There's
Oh, fair enough.
yeah. I mean, I think shock is if you miss. Yeah, but it misses terribly. Like mostly actually dinging the ground. Ooh, let me go to my decals here real quick.
You are insatiable. You cannot be satiate.
Yeah, and Pat, you are muted.
So sorry about that one.
That's fine, yeah. So a maintenance bot has just climbed out and tried to smash Alton. It hit the ground instead, and you now see a lovely dented metal decal, and it looks like it is Alton Miller's turn. Alton Miller, you are presently in melee with a mate bot. You know that for people who don't have the close combat trait, it means that you have a bit of an impediment. I wonder if somebody.
How much of an impediment?
Like a -2. I wonder if there's somebody in this party who has close combat.
Well, at the moment, I don't want to disengage and get hit again, and I don't want to not hit it, so I'm just gonna go for it anyway.
Proud the shot.
That does not hit.
That's Alton quickly goes for his revolver with a. You hear a rising of steam as a bullet hole punches itself into some mechanical apparatus below.
That's interesting. So it keeps track of my ammo on the little roll sheet thing, but I can't there's no reload button I can see.
You have to manually go in and add more. But yeah, I think we can assume that you actually had 5 of 6 because you would have put more bullets in your gun since a week ago.
I mean, I did that on my sheet. Whatever. We'll not worry about it.
So Alton, you've popped your shot and you're gonna hold your position.
Yeah. There's no disengage action, is there?
I think it's fight or retreat. Abigail, you see the mate bot and you have kinesis wraps on, so you can punch a robot and not give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about like what I do.
Fighting withdraw, disengages, don't actually move away, but can now. Okay, the thing is, I would have had to use it and moved for it to be effective, so I've already shot, pointless, continue.
Yeah, so Abigail,
okay.
What's your plan here?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my roll 20 to load, but I'm gonna move up to it and punch the fuck out of it.
Alright,
the general gist.
I'll move you up, and I can even pop your attack, unless you want me to wait on that.
Oh, thank you, yes.
Alright.
I need to be going as a player anyway.
So, yeah, Abigail comes up behind it, and, just punches into either side of it, and just rips apart vastly integral elements of its systems, and it just begins to spark and burst and whir, and it looks like she's almost finished off the main bot. The main bot is going to turn at the far greater threat and attempt to deck her with his fork smash.
I'm assuming I've healed a little bit in the past couple days, week.
Yeah, you're at full HP. But you do take 2 shock damage as a fucking forklift smash comes at you and dents up the ground around you even more. It is.
Don't worry, we've recuperated.
It's Alton Miller's turn. Alton Miller, the main bot, is like. If you've ever seen the Final Fantasy X,
no longer engaged with me, correct? It is now engaged with my dear companion.
I'll give it to you.
All right, I'm gonna back the fuck up and then shoot it.
All right, so yeah, so you've got the fucking Blade Runner gun. You've lined up. You got the shot. You popped the shot.
I miss.
Yeah, you put a bullet hole in the side of this, and you start to hear sound as it sounds like you've ruptured something else. Some liquids are beginning to spill. It's a bit of a problem. Abigail.
I'm like, God damn it! That's what happens when you don't drink for a week.
Sounds like it's time for me to finish this mate bot out. By the way, is that maintenance bot's art for sale also on her token?
I don't think that we actually have that in a stock art set yet.
No, isn't that in the Warforged pack?
No, it's not.
Or did
No, it's not Warforged.
Motherfucker! I thought I told you to include that in the Warforged pack. Ah!
We can add it.
Okay, whatever.
Sorry, I'm dropping my weapon.
Point is, Abigail, it is your turn.
Sorry, I just thought that would be funny if it was. Yeah, I'm gonna punch it again.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, look, I hit.
On the money. You just punch through its face, and it breaks apart with a hiss. And as that happens, you hear a, "Hey, what's all that sound up there? Hey, goons, let's go get them."
Wow. See, they made the rookie mistake of calling their goons out loud. Because they just said, "Hey, what's that sound up there? Let's go check it out." They could have been maintenance men. We wouldn't have known.
Yeah, so that was Abigail's turn. It is Agoon's turn. Agoon attempts to unlodge a slightly unlodged thing with the help of his
Out
compatriots.
of curiosity,
He does not succeed. He falls flat on his face. It is another goon's turn. This goon is also going to attempt to unlodge it. And what was that question, Max?
Well, I guess I could wait for my turn, but I'm just wondering, did we see any, like, exits out of this room we're in?
To the east
Yeah.
seems to be further pipery.
Alright.
So, this goon manages to get up in here, and he's like, hey, I'm climbing here.
Oh my
Is he
God.
armed?
Yes, he has...
2 armed.
He seems to be equipped with a hyper hammer and an EMM-09 pistolet, which you know to have been a standard issue in the East Mars services. You also know that their vast stockpile has flooded the civilian market since unification.
Alright.
And I guess I rotated the wrong goon, or did I put initiative on? Yeah, okay. So yeah, this one is the one who's down. This one climbs. I'm gonna say if this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's like on the ladder trying to shoot by his friend, but he tries to pop Alton.
Ooh,
Why would you do that? I'm a
what a dick.
nice young fellow.
So a bullet rips through Alton's side as he hits the ground hard.
My detective! You'll
Uh,
pay for this.
The main bot is
Not
dead.
a terrorist.
Alton, you are out of it for now. Oh, by the way, Abigail, when you were checking his effects earlier, you did notice that he has a Lazarus patch on him, an item critical for reviving those in a downed state.
Thank you for your snooping. I was actually thinking the same thing.
Yeah, so is it...
Yeah,
It's my turn, I'm assuming?
it's Abigail's turn. Abigail, there's goons with guns. If you so how do you proceed here?
Okay.
One of them is like hanging off a ladder, shooting his gun. The other is like right in front of him. Just if you had any idea.
So I'm gonna get to about here, and I'm gonna kind of fall over on him, kind of. I don't want to say prone,
Abigail,
but more
this
like
is
a
the time.
crouch situation. Cover you, and also to kind of make myself lower. And from that position, I'm going to fire with my laser pistol at this first goon, intending to hit him so that he falls,
Okay.
or at least has to stumble a little bit.
All right. So you shoot close to him, and he's like, oh, and he has to make a save, which he fails, knocking into this guy, who also has to make a save, which he passes. This one plummets to the bottom of this shaft and takes more HP damage than he has, knocked out of the fight.
Oh, shit.
But Abigail, so you've thrown yourself down, Alton, and you're shooting back, yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different goon's turn. This
Abigail
goon
fails.
picks
I do believe you're
himself
coming
up.
onto my corpse.
and he comes and he's like, oh shit, there's a goon here. He has to navigate his fellow goon down to there. And our shooting average of 1-0 goon here is going to be like, I can take care of both of you, and fire his EMM-09 pistolet at you, missing terribly, and puncturing yet another hole in this building's systems. Alton Miller continues to be in a critical state, and it is Abigail of Valles' turn. It seems the goons are held up, and you're on Alton, and you're,
Yeah. What kind of action is it to apply one of these Lazarus patches? Can I do it as a move action?
Max.
So a Lazarus patch. For the deets.
If I know where it is, because I know where it is.
You do.
I've been through your clothes.
I can't wait until the conversation afterwards. Now it's like, how did you know
I
that?
honestly think. So you have to do within 6 rounds, is what it says.
Mhm.
It doesn't say anything else.
Okay, I will say, I think you just put it on their tongue or something. So, like,
Yeah,
Yep.
so if I don't move other than that, can I just use that as my move action and then shoot?
There is a roll involved, I'll let you know.
Yeah, so you can roll heal.
Int heal or dex heal against a difficulty 6.
Mhm.
Well, whichever one I'm better in, which I'm assuming is intelligence. Is it dex? I haven't looked in a bit.
You're better. You're equally good at both.
Oh, wow, it's the same. It's a +1 either way. Would you look at that?
So this is going to be a straight 2d6 trying to hit average. And what do you know?
Woo!
You managed to stabilize our boy Alton. Now pop that laser shot at this well-situated
Hell.
goon.
Hell to the yes.
Perhaps the most successful
okay.
goon in all of cinema since that one stormtrooper almost shot Han Solo.
Honestly, actually though. All right, you know what this means?
Ray gun
Fire my
time.
lasers.
All right, pop us that shot as you blast heated air at him, and you miss terribly. He is well situated on his ladder and is not knocked off. I'm gonna say that you're still on Alton when this goon climbs. The other goon is on the ladder. This goon is out for the count. This goon steps off and he comes closer, and he's like, "Well, what do we have here? A broad who thinks she can shoot." And then he comes up real close and tries to pop you. A 13 does not hit your AC because of your +1 dex. So
Okay, Lee.
the bullet hits
question.
you, but ricochets off of your Under Armour. Yes.
Can I in the process drop my gun and look weak?
Give me a perform.
I also have a lift stim on me, which would bring me back to the fight, but
Wait.
Yeah, you'd also know about his lift stim. Yeah, he's like, "I ain't buying this, sweetheart. I know about dames like you. They taught us about equality even in West Mars. Although they did
Damn,
so in
I can't rely on misogyny.
although they did so in very condescending terms. And
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, at least I've got that going for me.
yeah, so but it's your turn.
use
So
the
that
lift
stim
to
pack?
shoot him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to lift stim him and then try and like mollywop someone or shoot someone or
Yeah, that's what I want to do. If that's
Actually, don't bother
possible.
for it. It takes 5 minutes to use. I wouldn't worry too much about using it right now.
Okay, actually, yeah. Then I'm gonna just pop molly him, pop
Alright.
whatever the term you used is. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I jump up, hop up, pow pow.
Yeah. And now here's a little DM trick, kids. You notice how her shock damage is 2, and their max HP is 2, and it's against AC 15. They have a 12. That's right, kids. That means Abigail literally cannot fail to deck down a goon. Every swing is a hit. So yeah, you utterly you hear a cracking of his jaw and perhaps skull, and maybe a bit of a crinkling in the spine as your kinesis wraps connects with the side of his head and just sends him sprawling to the ground. Some blood and tooth spit up by him.
Whack.
It's another
Can we
goon's
get an
turn.
edge?
Face.
The goon comes up, steps up, sees you here, and tries to put a shot into you. Missing terribly. That goon is down. That goon is down. Alton is still down. Abigail. There is a foe, conveniently, within movement range.
Yeah, I was about to say. How convenient. All right, let's boo doo boo boo. Oh, that's the skill, not the attack. Damn. Okay, let me just get it from my character sheet. Sorry. It drops in the chat, and then I'm like, it's better to just scroll up in chat. But then,
yeah. So again, so you knock this fool, and you uppercut him. He stumbles, knocks back into the ladder, falls down. You hear another goon go oof as he lands on top of him, the guy who you sent down there earlier. And yeah, with that, the goonery ceases, and we play a more relaxed Goovin.
One thing I should probably mention before we move forward is I read the description for the lift sim again. It requires the applicator to have heal 0.
Okay, so she's not going to be well trained enough to use it on you, and so right now you're down. So all right, Abigail, this man has a bullet.
How
in
many
him.
slaps does it
The-
take to get him?
The Lazarus patches nanites have stabilized him, and you see that a weird, almost white-like scab has stitched itself over the bullet hole, and but he's not exactly doing well these days. You know that Martians have pretty great healthcare though, so. But yeah, you've got some potentially dead men and one wounded man, and you are just like in the inner guts of a skyscraper in Marsopolis. After this guy just stole some documents from a legal office of a missing person who you are trying to find separate from the legal process. So, what do you do?
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna drag him out of the ventilation shaft and into some sort of staircase scenario. And quite frankly, I could probably drag the man downstairs.
All right. So, can you roll me a whiz survival to see how quickly you can claw your way out of this ferrocrete and carbon fiber skyscraper?
Well, that is a failure.
1 hour later, Abigail and Alton are back in the lobby of the building. 1 hour later. And Alton, I would say by this point, like you get like banged on like the umpteenth pipe, and like finally you're coming to and cognizant at 0 HP, very lightheaded in this lobby. You do not recall what happened since you have been shot.
I'm like, my head. I checked the time.
About an hour and 10 minutes has passed.
So, it was like 4:30 when we came here?
Yeah, so it's like 5:30 now.
Okay. Good to know.
What time was your
I'd be
arrangement?
like, what happened?
Well, I had to drag your sorry ass out of the ventilation shaft.
And for reference, Alton, what are you wearing? Like, is that actually like a regular coat you have on, or is it some sort of armor, secured clothing?
It's secured clothing. So my outfit looks more or less what I'm wearing like this, and then when I'm out, on the street and such, I have an overcoat and a hat.
So there is some blood stains, but some of it is self-cleaning. So, you might have to get the shirt replaced, but the jacket is good. Maybe he's a steam.
All right. I button up the jacket to hide the stain.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we got what we came for.
All right. Limp out onto the street.
To him.
And I'm like, oh yeah, we might as well talk about the lobby. I'm like, yeah. Looks like he was working on some projects. Not sure how it all comes together yet, but I feel like there's a lot more going on here than just a man taking an unannounced vacation.
By the way, Max, do you take a strain for that? A system strain?
There is no strain for a
Lazarus patch. All right.
Lazarus patch.
Yeah.
As far as I can determine, there is one for a lift.
All right. Yeah. So you're beat up, but your body isn't breaking down over it. So yeah, you guys find yourself back at the doorway, and again across the way from the soda jerk, you do notice that one of the people who had been in the soda jerk. Does it say
it's the soda jerk or something?
Yeah, there's like a sign over that says soda jerk.
Across from the office, there's a soda jerk. How interesting. Well, my good fellow.
I didn't catch that.
Miller. What do you suppose you and I go get ourselves a soda?
I suppose you and I should go get myself some health care.
I suppose that's right.
Or honestly, anyone with any level of healing experience whatsoever.
Probably should take you to a doctor.
An emergency room. We got an appointment
What do I roll to get him to a nunnery?
So you can just, there's apps for this now.
Yeah, I take him to a hospital.
But I make it clear to her, like, there's somewhere we have to be at 8.
You hail a cab, and there is, a 10 credit fee, and you arrive in a Marsopolis hospital, and the healthcare is prompt. They see him right away when they learn that he has, suffered a bullet wound and see the blood. Some healthcare is administered.
Well, while they're administering healthcare, I go to Abigail. Abigail, do me a huge favor and run across the street to that men's warehouse and grab me a new shirt. I'm a boy's extra
not
large.
going on the expense report. I hope you know.
Alton,
I suddenly cringe in pain.
Alton is,
fine.
so yeah, after a half hour's work and a mechanical doctor, they managed to churn him out. And he's at 3 of 7 HP, and doesn't look too much worse for wear. Abigail, do you in fact dash across the street and get him a replacement from the men's warehouse?
Yeah.
A staple across the West German intelligentsia? West Martian intelligentsia? Yeah, you come back, you get them all dudded up, and it took a half hour, but there was also the cross-city flight. It is, closing in on 7.
Ooh,
Probably want to head over.
heard we have
All right, and so you're going to drop another 10 credits on a cab?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll start to fill her in with what we're up to here.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be like,
I'll give you a...
I had an exchange with a man on the ride over. Thinks he might know something a little bit more about. Potentially might have some more information about some stuff connected to that terrorist attack earlier.
You don't say.
I think it might be connected to everything that's going on here. It's a lead either way.
I'm certain there's something afoot. An awful lot of shady dealings around my father's natural death.
Coincidentally, it's at the soda jerk shop right here.
Indeed. How convenient.
And the app pops up, and it asks you for to leave a review, and the driver gives you a look like...
I put a 5 stars on there, and I do the clean car, friendly driver. I don't do the fun conversation button because we didn't talk.
Indeed, that's how they like it. So you step into the soda jerk. You see a couple of jerks around here enjoying a soda. There's also an espresso machine, for those of you who like to live dangerously. There's also a bottle recycler, because they're eco-friendly around here.
After all that espresso on the ship, I'm good.
Yeah,
For a bit.
they also offer a variety of shakes and malts with Martian dairy. Where does it come from? Well, there's a saying. The cows.
I'm starting to get bad audio cutouts. I'm gonna have to refresh.
No.
Wait, what is the saying, Lee?
Martian cows. They come from somewhere. Yeah.
By the way, oh my god, I love this.
I missed all of that. I'm assuming it was hilarious. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. Well, they have soda. They have a bottle recycler, because they stay green here on Mars, and they've got a variety of shakes and malts in addition to the sodas, and they are, generally speaking, that Martian dairy. You know what they say about it? Martian cows. They come from somewhere.
Wait, Lee, do you have the two-headed cow uploaded?
Hold on.
The one that's in the pack?
2 heads for twice the milk.
Oh, yeah, that's a different. That's a
different sort of cow.
Actually,
Oh no, what's the new one on Roll
two-headed
20?
cow token. There you go. Boom! Martian cow, everybody! Boom, boom!
Yeah, so when you step in, give me a whiz notice to dress the place down. It's later at night, and the clientele has changed,
But that guy with the desk is still there.
Yeah, you notice that this guy is still there, and he notes you walking in. And what do you do immediately as you enter?
I'm gonna order.
Yeah,
That seems like the appropriate thing to do.
All right.
I'm gonna get a malt.
All right.
Do they have mojito flavoring?
They do have mojito flavoring. They also have other flavors that people tend to actually get malts in. And with a frothy topping, they hand it to you. Abigail, I assume you also come in and get one.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Thank you for coming to Mazzopolis Sodas, the best soda for the best jerks."
No. I do consider myself a jerk on occasion.
Indeed.
Fancy myself.
Indeed, the sounds of the city come to you as you, enjoy a late night malt. As you look around, you can't help but notice this fellow sort of making eyes at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a seat next to him.
He's like, "You here for Ernest Karnacki?"
Who was asking?
A friend.
Shit, like over here.
He says he can't risk meeting in public anymore, or sending comm messages. He wants you to meet you he wants to meet in a club downtown.
All right. And say, you seem to spend a lot of time here.
Maybe. I have a dissertation to write.
Any interesting movement out of that building across the street?
He says, few people come in, few people came out. I saw you come out later. You didn't look so good. You and your lady get too frisky in the elevator?
Yeah, something like that.
By the way, can you guys roll me a
Let's
whiz
just
notice?
say it was more than just the two of us.
Can you guys roll me a whiz notice at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Alton and Abigail, you do not get the feeling that this guy is being totally above board with you about what he
I'm
is
like,
seeing.
Look. Even over the scent of this delicious malt, I can smell a lie.
He's like, hey,
Scent's coming in strong.
He's like, hey. Look, maybe I saw some other guys head in there who looked a little shady, but I just assumed that they were maintenance men. I mean, they have the uniforms. And you do recall the goons were wearing gray jumpsuits that would look rather uniform-like. He says, I guess between when you went in and when you came out.
What they arrive by? Some sort of car? See anyone with them?
Well, I mean, I can't just be informing on people here, can I? I'm a thesis candidate, not a spy. I mean, us graduate students have to eat and drink. He gesticulates to like 3 empty bottles near him.
So I take the little napkin underneath my
malt
drink out. I slide 20 credits under it and slide the napkin towards him.
He's like, yeah, well, you didn't hear it from me, but it was a delivery truck working for Honest Chemical. Dropped them off real neat like, let them out to the building. I assumed they were there to work on the ducts or something. I mean, lots of the ritzy places have great atmospherics. He gesticulates to the pipe which runs between the atmospherics building to your west on this intersection and the office building in question.
Interesting. Real interesting. Thanks for the heads up.
Not a problem.
I down the rest of my malt, get a brain freeze, get up and waltz.
All right.
My character would probably leave hers half empty or whatever.
Milk plus. Yeah, so you guys hop out. And you
she would look over at the guy, get a good look at his face, and then leave.
You guys, hold on. Let me make sure that Marsopolis downtown is actually rigged, right? Yeah. So, do you guys...
All right, I'm going to run to the bathroom before we switch to the other map, though.
You guys catch an Uber.
Wow, the coffee.
It's the actual coffee.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, yeah, no, I think it's time we paid Armis Chemicals visit. But I will wait for the good investigator to join us. Or perhaps not. Whoa. Whoa. The map just changed. Oh, this is the club scene. Oh my god.
All right, I've returned.
Oh my god, you're using those maps. Oh, it's cute. Thank you, Lee.
Yeah. So you guys.
Oh, there's the bicycle. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
outside of a certain
Sorry.
store.
Sorry. Weasel shot.
You were dropped
I
off.
wonder what they sell there. Shitty Twitch streams.
Yep. So you're
That's so
dropped off
cool.
in the city, and downtown has a bit of a different vibe to it, a darker vibe.
Indeed. My. And you look at these streets.
All right, I'm assuming the club is the gold door down the street.
Actually, that looks like a bank.
Oh, whack.
Yeah.
Is that the bank that my the estate will default into if I fail to find this lawman?
No, it is actually yes, it is the same bank. I was about to contradict myself on something. It is the same bank, and you know that the club is down here with the green and black. Reminding you of a certain elevator ride you took recently.
Whack. All right, Miss Waltz, dame.
Indeed. Waltz away. Okay, so I'm obviously gonna follow him. I didn't. Right, zoom out. Oh wow, this reminds me of Philadelphia.
Oh, during the car ride, I want to look up Arnos Chemical.
Yeah.
Who is it owned by?
It's owned by Penumbra Holding LLC.
Thoughts?
I mutter, it all comes back to Penumbra.
Natasha says, I suppose it does. No, she overhears you say that.
Yeah, so, you guys, hear some funky beats coming from below.
Oh, shit. What are clubs like in the Retrofuture?
You see milk and pop machines. Pop seems to have been popped a few times by a projectile weapon, and the milk looks a little scratched.
Damn.
Well, it seems like the reputable sort of club. Ladies first.
They must do some kinky shit in this place.
Yes, my fetish is to desecrate milk machines.
I mean, you'd be surprised how many people actually enjoy that.
So yes, you all find yourselves here. And,
there's no receptionist or anybody? Bouncer?
No.
I catch a glimpse of some very familiar looking people.
You do. You see some East Mars tough types drinking here, while there are some people dancing and grooving it out on the dance floor.
See,
Nice.
now out of character, I don't know that they're labeled terrorists. In character, I don't know they're labeled terrorists, but they're labeled terrorists.
Yeah, you see some
an
interesting
No, go
mix
ahead.
of local Martian types populating the bar.
Oh, yeah,
All
the
right,
ones
as-
with the long ears. Those are Martians?
Yeah, engineered, you know.
Yeah.
As Abigail continues to walk forward, I come up, put my hand on her, and like, check the corner. Look familiar?
Corner. Oh. You mean those guys from before? Why, yes, they do look familiar.
All right.
Nothing we can't handle, though.
Well, we'll see if they make any trouble. Make sure to keep your eyes open.
Oh, I have my eyes on a lot.
You guys can roll a whiz notice to survey the room.
Sure.
It keeps making me want to do a strength notice.
Strength notice would be like guessing the weight of something, I would say.
Oh,
You
you're
pick up something.
you're onto something. You're onto something.
Yeah. So, Alton, you think that the people at that table have eyes for those across the room, across the dance floor, in a corner you can't see yet out here. As you descend, the music bumps louder. The conversation and clinking of glasses penetrates deeper. Things get
Dollars to
funky.
donuts. That's what Karnaki is. Oh, look, my donuts are correct.
Indeed. You see Ernest Karnaki surrounded by some people who are dressed to fit in. He looks at you, gives you a bit of a back head nod, adjusts his collar a little.
I'm gonna lean into Abigail and be like, Abigail, say, fancy a bit of dancing on the floor while I have my conversation? Wink.
Why? I suppose. Fancy. You
Make sure to
riding
keep it
me,
loose. I make my way over to Karnaki.
All right. So there's a stool across from Karnaki. I'm assuming you take it.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to indicate by my positioning. But
Yeah. The people around you, are getting a little tight. And Ernest says, "Alton," nervously.
Karnaki.
We don't have a lot of, and as he's going to say something, this guy rocks up and puts a nice, heavy, massaging hand on Ernest's shoulder. And he says, "Yeah, great to see you. Everything you want is on this chip." And he throws a data chip, fit for inserting into a compad, right into the middle of the table.
All right. I reach out and grab it.
Go ahead, put it in your compad.
I look at him. I look into his eyes.
He looks.
I look into the people around me eyes.
You look scared as fuck. They look very intense.
I don't trust this chip. I don't trust it for a goddamn second.
Yep.
Nor do I. I would dance. So I gave you a perform cha on my dance, right? I would dance a little bit closer, kind of over here. You know, maybe making eyes at the bartender. But like kind of moving away. You know. Like, won't I buy a drink?
I wouldn't happen to have like a virtual machine subsection set up on my compad. An isolated subsystem.
What is your programming?
-1, -1.
Yeah, you don't even know what half those words mean.
Fuck. Okay. I mean,
so my character definitely would look at you on occasion, like, do you need...
I guess I plug it in.
Okay.
I don't have anything incriminating on my. Well, first I clear my browser history. First thing I do, clear the browser history, then I plug it in.
Okay. Plug it in, and a new folder has appeared, and it says info.
I tap it.
It says loading. Sort of pinwheeling around. Ernest gets a little tense. The guys around get a little tense. And one of them says, "It's in." To this guy. Comes up and puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "So, Mr. Miller, you got out Get out to the valley often?
Can't say I do.
Abigail dances well. People engage. The bartender makes eyes back at her. Some of the denizens look. They got some moves. Tooting the horns. Yeah, so you get closer for a drink as this guy leans in and says, "Let me give you a little advice, friend. Martian agriculture doesn't like off-world prospecting. You're in over your head."
I would kind of casually walk over here and say, what about on-world?
I say, what else is new?
Alright, they look at you, and they've been watching you this whole time. This guy has. And he says, "Yeah, you look like you're local. Wait a minute. Don't I know you?"
You might not. I get around.
Yeah, I get that impression.
Now the impression I get is that you here are treating my friend with a degree of disrespect, or did I misread those?
You hear some people coming down the stairs. They don't look too friendly. As they do, this guy knocks over the table, and this guy shoots a speaker that sparks and makes a lot of noise.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and all that is left is the whirring mechanical noise of this interior as, these rough-looking fellows say, "You shouldn't have fucking framed us, you piece of shit!" And you hear the, working of the action on some AK-99s, as the goons coming down the stairs suddenly aren't so sure they want to come down the stairs. Unfortunately for them, one of these guys is going to get to shoot first. And, the bullet goes wide, and he backs the fuck up the stairs. And it sounds, so there's chaos, people are hitting the floor, and the guy who has his shoulder on Alton is going to attempt to use him as a human shield.
I contest.
All right, so you can.
I also
I would
contest.
say.
This investigator is my human shield, damn it.
So this guy, Pat, is going to move to engage you. What do you want to do about him just immediately? All right, so you've lined up a shot. You absolutely knock this person's socks off. They're just out of the race. Word go. Alton, give me a punch skill.
Punch. I was hoping for. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Or
Punch
exert.
strength or punch dex.
If you can use exert.
They're exactly the same to me. Strength or dex.
Either or.
All right.
Wow.
Now you can't be surprised, so he doesn't really get to go before you, but he does have a hold on you at the moment.
All right.
And with that, we are about to enter some initiative.
Oh, shucky ducky.
6 and 3. Why do I keep rolling fucking 3s? 6.
Tonight is the -3 is really.
Come on. All right.
And Ernest says, "Alton, run! You have to stop them. They're going to..." And this guy is going to attempt to shoot Ernest at point blank.
Oof.
He will still hit Ernest, who has, let's roll and find out, 7 hit points. Okay,
Nice.
Ernest is at 1 of 7.
I think I figured out what they're trying to do. I may have cheated slightly by looking at the world map when you showed it to us, but I think I know what they're going to do.
I literally thought to myself, like, dang, that there are some very spoilery map facilities if they think about that. But that's, I mean, I could have hidden them if I wanted, would have been the smart thing to do as a DM.
I saw one called Dam, if I'm not mistaken.
It might have been something like that.
Wow.
Damn.
What would they do to one of those?
So this terrorist,
Interesting.
this terrorist is, or I mean, some would call him a freedom fighter. Actually, this
Wow.
liberationist is going to say, "Everybody get down. We only want to kill the people who are fucking with us." And he says, "The next person who comes down those stairs gets fucking shot." And he is going to come up here, muscling this guy out of the way, tossing this table over, and using it as cover. And he is going to ready an action to fucking keep his word and shoot the next person to come down these stairs. Alton Miller, it is your turn.
Okay, I have a hand on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Which shoulder?
It is the right shoulder. Actually, no.
All right.
It's the right shoulder because of how you. Yeah.
It's the right shoulder. But I still have enough range of motion to reach into my jacket. Actually, no. I can do it left-handed. Reach in, grab gun, guys up and to my right, just kind of reach around, bam.
Yeah, I will say because he is distracted by these people and he really wasn't expecting this, you do not take the point blank negative.
All right.
Also, I hope you're ready for some dynamic hit die rolling.
Are you fucking kidding me? Can I not roll a single decent attack?
All right, so like the muzzle flare alone, like causes him to start and become pretty afraid. He's not gonna back down, but he is going to take his hand off of you.
Good enough. I'm going to run and try to dive behind the bar, which seems to be a pretty effective strategy.
Do you risk that up?
Oh, that's a good point. He is melee range of me. Does he have a weapon out?
He's got his fists.
Can be a formidable weapon.
He doesn't have a weapon out yet.
Okay, for right now, I'm gonna hold position for right now.
Right.
Let me double check the actions list to see if there's anything clever I can do here.
All right, so this guy, seeing that Abigail has just ended that guy, is going to shoot. He's just shot Ernest, so he assumes that Ernest is done for. He's going to turn his gun on Abigail. And a 10 bounces off of your secured clothing, and he says, "Fuck, rich broads and the nice toys." And he's going to run away, and a bleeding Ernest is going to attempt to trip him. Ernest causes this man to trip, fly straight forward, slam his face into the fucking bar, and almost be taken out of the fight. And Ernest shouts, "Alton, I'm sorry, but you really shouldn't have put that chip in your compad. Smash that thing now." And
I smashed that all of. Oh, what? I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if I held an action, I could do it right now, and it was a smart thing to do. But I did not say I did it, so I did.
Yeah. So the goons seem to have hyped themselves up enough that they're going to risk this descent, and the liberationist is going to keep their word and paint them across the fucking stairs as semi-automatic burst fire begins to ring out through this condensed area, and there's a lot of fucking blood in that stairway now. And yeah, so that goon is no longer with us. The goon behind him decides that wasn't a very smart idea, and he won't be repeating that. Another, some would call them terrorists. Me, I call them freedom fighters. Is going to say, "Get down! Get down! The fucking suits!" And he's going to come here, and he's going to try and shoot over Alton's shoulder at the guy behind him. Hopefully he's going to either hit or miss nearly. Ooh, that is not enough to break your AC. A bullet bounces off your secured clothing that was meant for the guy behind you.
Wow, those AK-99s do not have a lot of penetration.
A goon remains hidden, or he holds some sort of an action. This guy is going to also ready in action because his friend is shot to cover those stairs because they are not going to let more people get in here and intervene. They're bunkering up. This guy.
Taken off the list?
Oh shit! What was your initiative?
I don't remember, but I know I hit it.
Abigail Vallis. I see a 7. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let me. You want to make a?
I mean, maybe
makeup
I
turn
just
right
didn't hit
now?
my character sheet.
It's fine. Do you want to do like a makeup turn right now, or?
Can I just take one at the bottom of the line and then take another one on 7?
Sure. You'll basically act twice in a row. It's a terrorist's turn. It's this guy's turn. This goon is going to whip out a gun and shoot the guy who just tried to. Well, actually, you just tried to shoot him too. That being said, he cares more.
I mean, yeah, but I did a pretty bad job of it.
He shoots at the guy across the room, and with a bang, manages to score a hit for 1 damage, grazing him on the leg. So that was that goon's turn. It is Ernest's turn. Ernest gets up, comes over here, tries to finish off the goon on the ground, does not manage to hit. It is Abigail Valle's turn.
Well, I show him how it's done.
Yeah, there's literally no way for you to not just like curb stomp this fucker's head deeper into the fucking bar.
And let me get this correct. This is a system where you can move after you've hit, right?
We can what?
Move a little bit after you've hit?
Yeah. You can split, move, and shoot. You put a significant dent in the bar as you finish him. Alright, and you get there. And it is Abigail. That was Abigail's turn. And now Abigail takes another turn because we skipped her earlier.
Okay. I stand here. And try to bash him away from his hand.
Your shock damage does 2. So that was Abigail's move. Alton.
Yes.
There's an evolving situation around you.
1 second. All right. Things are going bad.
I've got to have some more upbeat
But Ernest has told me to break my compad. And I honestly think he's onto something here. So instead of extracting myself from the dangerous situation I find myself in, or shooting the enemy, I'm instead going to shoot my compad.
Amazing. You put the gun to it and shoot it, and there's just a sparking blast of all over the place.
What does that count as?
I will count as an attack.
All right. In that case, I save an action, ready an action, whatever you call it, and that's it.
All right. Yeah. And as this happens, the speakers spark, and a new song comes on. All right, Alton. Wait, so that's it for your turn?
That's my turn.
All right. It's a liberationist's turn. He is going to see that he thinks you guys are doing a good enough job, and he's like, yes, comrades, bloody them. And he's going to hold his action to keep covering the stairs. It is this guy's turn. He's out for the fucking count. Abigail has cracked his neck, has broken his collarbone and put his head through the fucking bar. The bartender's on the ground. Actually, she's also gonna go at initiative 0. And it is a freedom fighter's turn. And this freedom fighter is gonna get to right here, aim between you, fires AK-99, not quite killing the man he wants to kill. It is a goon's turn. They're still holding off. It is a terrorist, or some might say freedom fighter's turn. They continue to hold their actions. It's a goon's turn. You see something get, you hear something click and chick and roll down to about here.
Ooh.
It is a canister of some sort, red with weird stuff on the side. Roll me a whiz notice if you'd like.
I don't feel like I need to.
I feel like I need to.
Oh, it's gas. Gas. Yeah, I should probably roll it. Might as well.
Oh my goodness.
You see that it has AC7 written on the side before the orange and blue canister gas emerges from either side and begins to rapidly expand. You don't catch the letters and number on the side, Pat. It is this guy's turn.
Perhaps RNAS chemical?
Perhaps. This goon is going to attempt to shoot Abigail at point-blank range, imposing a certain malice. Unfortunately, even with that certain malice, he still hits you, and a bullet grazes your upper shoulder above your kinesis wraps, and tings into the bar behind you, and liquid begins to spill. Oh no! Was that the fucking... How am I forgetting what they make the Shirley Temples with?
Cherry?
Cherry syrup and ginger ale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the fucking... there's like a name for the type of cherry syrup, but... Oh no, some of that's spilling. Yeah, the grenadine. The grenadine is spilling all over the back of the bar. And is now on the bartender's face. It is Ernest's turn. Ernest is like, wow, Alton, this lady you know, she really knows how to fight. And he's gonna pick up this dude's gun and come up behind this guy and put it to his head and say, hey buddy, pulls back the hammer. If you want to live, I suggest you drop the fucking gun. And as a reaction, this guy complies and puts his hands up. He's like, don't shoot! And the bartender stands up, racking a shotgun, and says, nobody fucking move! Or shoot in my fucking club! And with that, we find ourselves at the top of the round with Abigail, with an evolving hostage situation over here.
Yeah. Well, I would like to facilitate the hostage situation and
Rip his nuts
suggest
off.
that we might want to find ourselves, or to get this over with quickly, or else find ourselves a secondary location in which to do this, because this is a hot location. Wait, is this terrorist coming over here to kill that guy?
This terrorist has shot like 2 or 3 times at this guy, yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, some
I'm
might call him
just
a
going-
terrorist, others might call him a freedom fighter.
Oh my god.
I'm going to use the punch action to make it, well, to kind of, lightly punch him, but make it look like I'm dealing more damage than I actually am. If that
Alright.
makes sense?
Do you actually want to knock this guy unconscious?
No. But I want to make it look like I
Make it
hurt
look
him.
like you're like wailing on him. Alright.
Yeah.
So you put on a good show and you like punch him in the ribs. He's like, ah, that hurts. And you're not actually damaging him, but it does hurt.
Yeah.
Is Alton's turn, I think, unless there's anything else you want to do on your turn.
Well, I mean,
Nope.
I would also say, we've got this guy. Carry on, comrade.
That's great, comrade. When this is all over, we will drink the good shit, yeah? And he seems to be
down
this
with the
ideologically
barbecue.
excited individual. Seems to turn his attention to the doors and says,
I'm gonna
"I think."
on my turn, I lean over
I-
Karnak and be like, "The fuck is going on here?"
Yeah. So Alton, it's your turn.
No, I don't say that. I say, "What do you know?"
Time with the bourgeoisie, guys.
Because I think I know what's going on here. I want to see if he confirms my
He's
suspicions.
like, look, all I know is that I was looking into some irregularities around some pump stations, and if you ever heard of a holding company called Penumbra, and this guy says, if you don't understand, they will kill all of them. They will kill all of us. Don't say anything. And Ernest is like, I think we're beyond that. Listen, that thing that I gave you, it was a worm. It backtraced all of your communications.
I'm getting pretty bad audio cutouts. Sorry about that. I'm gonna refresh again, and I'm gonna have to you repeat that.
By the way, I love this fucking soundtrack.
Sorry, give it to me one more time.
He's like, so Ernest says, I don't know if you ever heard of a holding company called Penumbra, but I found out that they wound up involved in some pumping stations up valley, Thrasis, big problem. And this guy cuts in and says, if you tell him anymore, we'll all die. You can't do this. And Ernest's like, well, I think we're past that, buddy. Look, that thing that I had you put in your combat, it's a fucking worm. They backtraced all of your communications, your search history, even the stuff you think you've deleted. Alright? It was also tracking your position. Now that it's been destroyed, they'll assume it was shot in the shootout. We just need to get out of here. Fast.
Is there a back door?
He says, there better be.
So do we still need this guy alive?
What does Alton say to that question?
I say, meh.
Abigail, what do you do?
I take that as a no. I
Tear his
finish him
nuts
off.
off.
You what?
I finish him.
Alright, how? Describe to me how you finish him. With that, he
Into the
twists and hits the ground dead. And Alton, so you've talked on your turn. Do you want to move, or the lady with the shotgun does not seem very happy about anybody moving at the moment, and she is where you were planning to dive.
Yeah, that's big rude on her part. I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm. Bear in mind that the gas will act on initiative. The gas will expand on initiative 0.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that. So I'm going to turn to the bartender and address her as an equal. Lay on some of that charm and say, like, hey, look, no one likes getting the bar shut up. I get that. But also, no one likes dying asphyxiating from gas. Perhaps you would let me move further away from the gas, behind the bar, so I can run away.
Roll me a talk. She sighs and says, I'm not letting this turn into a massacre. Everyone! She punches a button, and the bar that this guy's head is embedded in kind of like into the wall. And it only stops when it's jammed by, his head in it.
Sorry about that.
Yep. And so Alton, you still have your movement if you want to
Yeah, I'm gonna use it. I got 30 of movement.
Yeah.
Meters or feet?
Feet.
Okay, so I'll get right up to her.
The grenadine spill, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it's a liberationist's turn, and they say, fuck, rags on, comrades. And he pulls up what looks like a shamag, but you see it's glittered in hexagrams, a symbol of the future, and it seems to flash with some sort of a recognition and become a fairly see-through breathing net. It's covering his eyes, mouth, ears, any, hole into his body. And he continues to ready his action to shoot whoever comes down those fucking stairs. It is the ideologically excited individual's turn who says, yeah, there's no need for innocent people to die today. Everyone, back of the bar, there are vents. Crawl through them. Crawl for your fucking lives. With that, he will take a moment to, he will grab this, toss it forward, get in position a little bit behind it, and begin, loading extra rounds into his gun.
Oh, shit.
It is a goon's turn. This goon throws another canister. This one a little bit further in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oof, those poor dancers that did not move off of the dance floor.
Yeah, who probably should have gotten a little bit further this time. They were scared. Yeah, so the terrorists, or the liberationists, the ideologically excited individual, and the terrorist all mask up. This goon is also masked up at this point. He's going to come down these stairs and trigger an Overwatch. Someone with an AK-99 shoots him. Missing. Someone else with an AK-99 shoots him. Missing. And he is going to fire his pistolet, hitting this liberationist in the shoulder. It is this guy's turn. He's fucking dead. It's Ernest's turn. He's like, oh gosh, we gotta get the fuck out of here, don't we?
Yeah.
It's the bartender's turn, and she says, everyone, in. They're right. The vents. And she's like, fuck. I wish the construction hadn't blocked the back door. Of all the days. And, yeah, the gas. Oh, no. What way does the gas expand on its turn? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so this corner has a bad day. And 7, 4. Yeah, so the gas is spreading. Abigail, what's the plan?
Well, I don't want to fuck around with that. How far can I go, assuming dashing and everything?
60 feet. I assume there's a dash in the system. Alright, so basically, what you guys are going to do...
Every person for themselves.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. You guys are going to rush to the first fucking exit you can find.
Yep.
Okay. This situation evolves. You wind up packed in with a lot of people. The bartender lets and leads back here. Alton, Abigail, you wind up together with Ernest. You hear the continued, release of gas and firing of rounds. And, as you guys find your way to a part of the map Lee did not expect to have people actually in.
The one time.
Yeah, you guys managed to make an escape. Can you roll me a whiz notice and then a survival? And do you keep track of anyone other than Ernest?
Do I?
No. What survival?
What survival?
Yeah.
I would call this a whiz.
Fair enough.
Oops, that was supposed to be a notice.
I accidentally rolled it twice, but the first one was better, so I'll take it.
Alton, you hear gunfire coming from the most obvious exit, and then you manage to lead the group safely to an alternative exit. Ernest says, I don't know who those guys were, but they jumped out of the back of some sort of a chemical truck. I didn't catch the name.
Yeah, I can make an educated guess.
All right. Look, I'm so sorry about that. I mean, they fucking busted me in and they had me at gunpoint, man.
Nah, no hard feelings.
All right, good. Well, do you have any idea what the fuck is going on? Because I am out of my depth as a journalist here, man.
All right. I don't want to call it off on publishing this till we get it sorted, but here's what I figure's going on. So, this Penumbra holding company, they're into some shady shit. Not sure everything's going on quite yet, but they're behind it all. They are in charge of the company that owns the concourse where a terrorist attack happened on Earth. The terrorist attack that almost kept us from getting here to Mars to check this whole situation out. The company that owned the place did not decide to press any charges or look into the incident at all and didn't even publicize it as a terrorist attack. The terrorists that they supposedly were the sorts that would just protected us in there. Penumbra Holding Company also owns the chemical corporation. I forgot the name of already.
Arnis Chemical.
Arnis Chemical. Arnis Chemical, the van in which those goons that have been chasing us around town have been riding around in. I suspect the terrorist attack at the airport was actually the same people with the goons and was in fact a false flag operation to make us think it was the terrorists when it was in fact the Penumbra group. It's all Penumbra.
Wait. Penumbra Holding. Wait a minute. He pulls out a bloody piece of paper and he pulls out a clear glass vial, a glass flat thing from it. He holds it up, and you see like a holographic Evite begin rotating around, and you see a massive building. At the bottom, you see Penumbra, and see it says, "This is your invitation to the opening night at the Penumbra Building's a penthouse party house." I scored one of these before all of this went down. I didn't realize the significance.
You wouldn't happen to want to give one of that to one of your friends, would you?
Well, I'm definitely not fucking going now.
All right. Sounds like we got our next lead. These Penumbra fellows are up to some shady business. Shady
you're telling
business
me.
indeed.
Yeah, well, Alton and whatever your name is, you just declares to Abigail.
You can call me Elizabeth.
Well, thank you for saving my life, Elizabeth. I'm gonna fuck off. I can lay low with some people I know in the Tempa range, and not trust no strangers. You have my number, but here, he gives you a little info chip. That one is a connection to me. It'll create a direct line on whatever you plug it into, and I have a direct line back at the Tempa range that'll allow me to upload anything to the internet. If you get something that you need released, pop it my way. And if this whole thing blows over and it's safe to go back to the city, let me know too. I do not look forward to eating nutrient slug.
I sure hope that you'll find out this thing's over from me rather than from some sort of disaster news broadcast.
Yeah, speaking of disaster news broadcast, the Blade Runner flying cop cars are arriving. There's people all over. You hear a tink, 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 tink as you see anti-grav floating in various police bots to take control of the situation, because it seems like there's a full-blown war in the streets. And you guys, with the survival of 11 on Alton, melt into the cityscape. You say your goodbyes to Ernest after he gives you the invitation, and with that, considering it is 2:16 a.m., I'm thinking that maybe...
Yeah, I was about to say, probably call it now.
I'm thinking maybe we call it, and thank you all for coming by. I'm surprised we have 8 viewers so early.
I'm about to say, we still have viewers, and I'm shocked.
How many viewers do we...
We have 8. If the viewers have anything...
Oh my god!
If the viewers have any observations, I would love to hear them. Any feedback, that would be great. Or me, or the tile set. And, but other than that, I'm mostly filling time so you guys can think about what you want to do. Yeah, 2-shot time. We will follow this up. We'll get you on the Twitter and Discord details about when the follow-up happens soon. But yeah, with that, I think we go to Max. Favorite, least favorite, you want to see more of.
Alright, so, overall, really solid session. Honestly, it's really hard for me to come up with any favorite. I don't know, probably... I really like the airport sequence. That was pretty solid.
Yeah, no, I
that might have been my favorite.
Yes, like that.
I also really enjoyed the whole sequence on the ship with the Googling stuff.
Yeah.
And the banter between the two of us.
No, the ship sequence was a classic Noire.
Yeah, honestly, that was my favorite bit. Least favorite, I don't know. I honestly, least favorite's a very comparative thing, right? I liked every single bit of this. Least favorite might have been getting laid out immediately. And also missing every single shot this entire session. But that's nothing your fault. Things that I can pin on you directly.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be bad. It just has to be when compared to the rest of this overall strong session, where it was a weaker or slower moment, something that didn't transition as good or well. RNG was the enemy, Jure.
Yeah, I guess the combat in the vents.
Not great.
It felt a bit of a straight up and down combat in a session that feels not about that. The airport combat had some interesting stuff with hostages going on, and it was false flagging. I guess this one was about trying to send goons after us, and it accomplished that. but it felt a bit samey. And the combat in the nightclub was like there was like all sorts of different sides, and there's lots of the combat itself gave us information.
Yeah, no, that was interesting.
Okay, so like because like in a 3 combat session, strong first, strong ender, weak middle.
I won't even say weak middle, but like
Standard
comparatively
standard
less
cut
strong
and,
middle.
standard cut and dry stars without number gunfight and melee fight. Like you broke a robot, you fought some goons. Yeah. So with that, what do you want to see more of? Because there will be a sequel to this when we wrap up. I mean, how many maps did I make that we didn't even visit? I guess only
So
2.
you made like 15 to begin with.
No.
I mean,
didn't make that many.
I'm very much looking forward to the party. I am also more. I mean, I would argue that there was like a more interactions where me and Pat can talk in character a fair bit. I think that was a lot of the joy of this session.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
I think also like maybe an interrogation scene or more research sessions where like I think like a proper interrogation scene where like me and Pat can just like lean on a guy, get some information. I'll also just let you know that if I ever hit any sort of dead end, what I'm immediately gonna do is try to find a shoe shine stand.
Oh my goodness! All right. I'll try my artistic chops at that. I made this fucking soda fountain tonight, which got reused in so many places. I was impressed.
Yeah, it's also gonna be at the party. You know how I know?
All right, and I think that's really about it for me. Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah. All right, Pat, shoot your shot.
Sure. Yeah. No, I had a huge blast too. I'm gonna say a lot of the same things that Max did. My favorite parts are interpersonal character interactions were super fun. The bands were on point. I really enjoyed playing this character, this type of campaign. Very interesting. These kind of like mano sort of situations are very, very interesting. I was very skeptical at first about one-on-ones and one-on-twos as a role-playing system because, it felt a little unconventional for me. But I'm really coming around to it. This is very fun. So that's more or less what I liked. I like the style. You know what? I should mention how much I love the fucking maps because holy shit, you spent the entire time making them. Wow. You spent hours on that shit.
It's a testament to the fact that like stars out numbers is so powerful and the system is so straightforward that to make a monster, all I had to do was grab a token. Like you see me, I deliberately did it not on my laptop but on my computer. You see me make the main bot. It takes like 10 seconds.
Yeah, actually, I was watching you do it in the Twitch, and I was like,
right?
Because one thing I love the stars of a number system, but like the systems I tend to run are like super complicated to do anything in. And this is almost selling me on running stuff in this system.
I'm sold already. I've been loving all these Stars Without Numbers sessions. Yeah, right. So the system's great, your maps are great. Loving all of that. Sorry, and I hope I didn't interject in front of you, Max. Were you gonna say something?
No, I was actually interjecting during your feedback, so continue.
Yeah, no problem. Things that I did not like. My least favorite part probably would be, I don't want to say the whole last half because it's not correct, nor is it, fair.
Where do you draw the halfway mark where it cuts off?
Like after the break or something like that. So look, that's not actually. I hadn't completed my thought. It wasn't the whole entire last. That's my least favorite part. What I was saying was that the last half featured less conversation between me and Max, and I think perhaps I also didn't have as much to do during those scenes because a lot of them were focused around Max trying to find out the inherent mystery of the world. And, I also didn't know a lot about my character's motivations beforehand, even though we decided that we would talk about that at length beforehand. So I think possibly my least favorite aspect is a combination of not being as engaged in the exclusive investigation scenes and also not knowing enough about my character to manipulate events, considering all the nitty gritty shit that my character would already know. Without having to rely on asking you for information. Like, at first, it's fine when I'm just like, yes, what do I know about this guy? Haha. But when it comes to actually engaging in the world, it probably would have benefited me if I had known more about my characters. Like, because we've established that she has some dealings beyond the evident.
Indeed. Well, you are the femme fatale. Also, can I just say, I'm really glad that I decided to go with partial expert, partial warrior, because wow, you steamrolled some people. Holy shit.
I am killing some motherfuckers. Everybody. Oh my god, I'm the fucking tank. And
I mean, I did not go into this session thinking that your character would be the one going around kicking ass. I didn't think it would be me, but I thought it would be neither of us. I thought we would just get our ass kicked all the time. Because I've played a investigator character before with Lee, and he just got his ass kicked all the time. That's what he did. He would go out, ask questions, get his ass kicked, bandage himself up, and go out and ask more questions.
The Dick Spade lifestyle, baby.
I mean, I'm clearly some Martian super warrior.
I feel like if we ever do another two-shot, one-shot, two-shot, whatever, that's just me and Pat, it might benefit to not have any necessary, big, we want to keep secrets from each other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it worked bad. I think as a noir thing, it was good, and I don't disagree with its use in this particular session. However, I think this is a good format, and it would be even better if our characters could speak more freely with each other, and therefore would speak more often.
I mean, I love secret squirrel shit, but I agree with you. And if not full, exactly the same side situation, then perhaps at least a two-sided situation in which I know more about my side.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just kind of say the lack of advanced prep, more or less. I don't want to say that, but
No, that's fair. That's fair. Because you tried to ask a few times, it kept being like, I don't know. My brain just went crazy on this today, and I obviously a lot got done.
Totally understand.
But yeah.
Oh, it will be a problem next time you run it. Anyway.
This map brought to you by the Argyre Arranged Tourist Board.
Ooh, beautiful.
Oh yeah. So, and what do you want to see more of?
I want to see the second half to this. I want to see more beautiful maps. I want to see more of this system in which, it's you versus me, or you versus me versus Max, or, a limited character and DM arrangement in which we can kind of delve into worlds more intimately. And I'm gonna throw it out there: more Stars Without Numbers, more sci-fi content, because I have always been a huge sucker for sci-fi.
Yeah, and of course, we're working on an Alien pack. We might be playing the Alien. We definitely actually gonna play the Alien Free League game, Alien role-playing game, and so if you like sci-fi, watch this space. We've got Thrash Stat Mondays and other days of the week for fantasy, but we've got sci-fi stuff as well. So that's what we want to see more of, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we close out? Because I probably want to raid
Yeah.
and let Max go to bed. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you, everyone.
after we raid you guys, stay tuned.
We're putting out the
Next
tile
time
pack.
you see us here on Diesel Shot, we will have this tile set available on a number of websites. We're going to put that up tonight.
Yes, we are.
And look forward to the next Pat and Max exclusive, in which we play 2 morning talk show co-anchors that are delved into an altered dimension full of psychological horror. Stay tuned.
Wow, that's frightening, Max. And back to you with the weather.
All right. I'm gonna.
Yes, so the weather is raining blood.
I'm gonna punch the start
And I see
raid.
the dead screaming faces of all my relatives when I close my eyes.
Watch out for that blood ice, folks.
All right. I am actually gonna hit start raid. Bye. And let me just hit the start raid. And yeah, just remember, be nice when we go over there. That would be a pretty good idea, actually. Let me hit raid now. Raid now.
I still like the idea of us being like fantasy, like